What up, though, One Pride? This is the Roar of the Lions UK podcast, a podcast where One Pride goes worldwide. My name is Antony Fitzpatrick, and this is the college football podcast special. This is the Shrine Bowl live, and yes, we are on the path to the draft. It doesn't seem a minute since the season's ended, and yes, we're already well into draft season, and we're starting with our All-Star Games circuit. There's been a couple already. We've had the Hula Bowl, we've had the American Bowl, some of the smaller bowls that I'm going to go and recap when I get a chance to, because this stuff's come back thick and fast at us. But the major of the three, this is the first, the Shrine Bowl, the home of the underdogs, the home of the draft diamonds, the home of those who are not thought of as high in draft circles as those who go to its more prestigious big brother, the Senior Bowl. But the Shrine Bowl is my favourite. It is the fun. This is where you find the guys who nobody else is looking at, and I love it. We are going to be watching the game this evening as it happens, going through the roster, talking about some of the players I like, etc. Obviously, with there being no college pod recently, we've not been able to deep dive the rosters as we usually would, but we'll do it in reverse this time. We'll do the games first, and then we'll look back at the rosters and how they did afterwards. Obviously, we've got the Senior Bowl coming up in 4 days. That's on Saturday, so hopefully going to do that as well. But yeah, this is one of the biggest weeks on the calendar when it comes to the path to the draft. This is where prospects get to prove themselves in front of scouts, head coaches, all sorts. And this is where a lot of the league's business is done in regards to free agency as well. Already tidbits coming out about the Detroit Lions from the Shrine Bowl, etc. and the Senior Bowl. So there is a lot going on here. It's going to be good fun. So lock in for the next few hours. This is going to be fun. I'm glad you are joining me this evening. I've seen Brent do Witters in the chat. He goes, One Pride Worldwide. Mal Mark is in there. He goes, Hiya, Brent. Hope you are both doing well. Vented 355 is in the chat as well. Big story today about the MHSSA, that's Michigan High School Athletics, allowing NIL for high schoolers. What do you think of that and how it will impact college football? I mean, Bryce Underwood's going to be pissed right now, right? What Belleville would have paid him in NIL these last few years would have been crazy, but I don't know, with it being a new thing at this moment in time, I'm not 100% sure, but kids coming out of college, kids coming out of high school with more money, looking for more money, I don't know. If you get some, like in Texas, you have high schoolers who might be making more money than guys who are in college in some of the lesser states, etc. In your Maines, your New Hampshires, these little areas. It could lead to an unbalancing, and some of the smaller teams at the FBS level, the FCS levels, trying to compete out of high school with guys who are already on more money than they might be able to offer, might cause a problem. But me and Ryan will do a deeper look into that. But for me, I'm not about it. I don't think you should be doing NIL to high school kids. Like, the whole point was it was college based. Then it's going to be high school, then it's going to be whatever your version of high school is before that, and it's primary school, secondary school here, but it's just going to keep going lower and lower and lower. And you're going to see, sensations like Baby Gronk and stuff like that all over the place getting marketed and their names putting out there. And I think it's just going to lead to a lot of exploitation from parents, from coaches, from schools. So I'm not so sure it's 100% a good thing. But, like I say, this has just happened today, so I need some time to fully mull my thoughts over it. But, yeah, surprising. And Michigan is the first state to do it, so I'm interested to see if other states follow suit. So, we will see with that one. Marmarker goes off topic. Western Michigan hockey keeps beating my favourite team, the Duluth Bulldogs. Oh, looky there, Western Michigan having a good year. Their sports teams are, and some of their players knocking around in this game as well. So we'll have a chat about them in a bit. Venter goes, I was considering buying a U of M hockey jersey, but they are like my third favourite hockey team. Man, there's so many jerseys to buy for. I want so many college football jerseys, but I have to buy them from over there, and it costs a fortune, and it takes ages to arrive. So I'm going to have to sort something out when I'm over there at one point. But yeah, there are a lot of jerseys I want to get. Top of my list, the Miami Vice jerseys from FIU. I want one of those, and I want them tomorrow, and I will do anything I can to get my hands on one. Do you think the Lions will address the safeties by drafting or signing a starter, or just patching it with some backups till Branch and Joseph come back? I mean, Thomas, ain't a bad backup. I mean, I would quite happily slot him in and let him play at the start of next year, but it's like the same with all these things. There's one thing going from being a guy who's filling in and backing up and getting lucky and playing well to then have the expectation of being an actual starter at the beginning of a season with a team that's got Super Bowl aspirations. I'm not too keen on running it back with them, so I hope they go draft-wise. For me, it's not the strongest safety class on record. If they can get someone like Michael Taff or something on day 2, I would be delighted. But outside of that, I would probably go for a veteran. Because Kirby's drafted, Branch is drafted, Thomas is technically drafted, although he's a UDFA. So, we've kind of got our draftees in there already. I'd prefer another vet in the building just to be able to deal with the expectation until our 2 are back. But if we went draft and free agency for safety, it would not surprise me. I'm a Golden Gopher, but Duluth will be over first. Exactly my market. Always a Golden Gopher. And then Bison, I must assume, after that. Loved hearing that Skip was getting at the Shrine Ball, working with offensive lineman, tight end, special teams, incoming lines assistant. You feel like Skip might be back one day, but it will be good for him to be able to get that in his system. Yeah, Mile Marker's a big Gopher fan. He's a big Gopher football fan. We talk about Gopher football a lot on this podcast just because Mile Marker loves his Gopher football, and we want to make sure that he gets his fair fill of it, because we only have a few listeners here, so I like to cater to the listeners who do listen to this pod to make sure their teams are getting talked about as thank you for listening to me. So yeah, that is all good. Shrine Bowl is due to start at 7. We're just past 7 now. Now, I'm hoping I've got a stream for this. It says the NFL Network is showing it. I have the NFL Network going on. They're just going through some of the Shrine Bowl stuff now. Obviously, the list is large for what is here. I will quickly run through the list of some of these players here, and then, we're going to have a couple of hours to kill, so we'll be able to talk about them more in depth as we go through. And this list was as of 2 days ago, so occasionally people drop out and change, so if the list is not fully accurate and up to date, then it is what it is. But yeah, on the offensive side of the ball, so the quarterbacks here at the Shrine Bowl, you've got 8 of them. We've got Miller Moss of Louisville, Baron Morton of Texas Tech, Cade Klubnik of Clemson, Haynes King of Georgia Tech, Mark Gronowski of Iowa, Joe Fagnano out of UConn, Kyron Drones of Virginia Tech, and Jalen Daniels out of Kansas. And the big news emanating out of Lions Land this week is that they have been extensively talking with Haynes King, the Georgia Tech QB. I mean, I think we all knew that quarterback backup would be on the agenda potentially for the Lions this year with Hendon Hooker failing. So Haynes King is the first they're taking a look at. That makes a lot of sense to me. Obviously, a 6-year guy in college. He's an older prospect. He's going to be 26 next January in his first collegiate football season like Hendon Hooker was. But unlike Hendon Hooker, he's played a real scheme in college, not the spread offense that Hendon Hooker did. They run the power spread at Georgia, so obviously that is very heavily run orientated. A lot of RPOs for the quarterback, and then they use the quarterback's legs as well. The Lions kind of like to do that. Obviously, Jared Goff doesn't have legs for 99% of the time, so they can't run it with the QB as often. But I think it's interesting they've had long conversations with Haynes King, because if they want someone in that mold, he would be the guy. I'm just personally not sold on older prospects again, like with Hooker. They've got less time to develop in the NFL, and Goff's still going to be around for at least another 2 years yet, so you'd be talking 28, really, before he saw any NFL action. So, but obviously, these are all just interviews and stuff at this time. But yeah, Lions have been chatting a lot with Haynes King out of Georgia Tech. The running backs on show: Chip Trainum out of Toledo, Robert Henry Jr. out of UTSA, Roman Hemby out of Indiana, Eli Heidenreich out of Navy. He has been classified as a running back, although he's been playing as a receiver for them, but I guess you're a little bit of both when you play for the service sides. You got CJ Donaldson from Ohio State, Dean Connors out of Houston, Demond Claiborne, the speedster out of Wake Forest, Kentrell Bullock from South Alabama, and Dominic Richardson out of Tulsa, a late addition to the roster there. Coming to the wide receivers, you've got a triumvirate from Georgia. You've got Dylan Bell, you've got Noah Thomas, and you've got Colby Young. You've got Caden Wetchen out of Iowa. Jalen Waltall, the FCS stalwart out of Incarnate Ward, been turning some heads this week. Xavier Thomas of LSU, J. Michael Sturdivant of Florida, Deshaun Stribling of Ole Miss, Chase Roberts out of BYU, love him, Eric Rivers out of Georgia Tech, Kendrick Law out of Kentucky, Chris Hilton out of LSU, Emmanuel Henderson Jr. out of Kansas, Jeff Caldwell from Cincinnati, Malik Benson from Oregon, and Skylar Bell, the Biletnikov candidate out of UConn, finished third in the Biletnikov voting, as the game is going to go underway shortly. Now, with so many different players in here and how they do, it's going to be a little bit of a job trying to work out who's doing what. So you will have to bear with me as we go along. Obviously, I can't have the volume on too loud because I don't want it to pick up on my mic and me get struck for it. So I will do my best to update you as we go along. Obviously, the guys have the helmets on, can identify them by that. But yeah, let me know who you're looking forward to seeing in this anyhow. I say there's a lot on show. There's a lot of my favourite players in here, guys who I go back years with. I'm looking forward to seeing in the draft process. Tight ends, we got 7. Seydou Traore out of Miss State, Bauer Sharp out of LSU, Eli Raridan from Notre Dame, Lake McCree from USC, Jack Endries from Texas, Jaran Kanek from Oklahoma, and Dallin Bentley from Utah, who I like, and a lot of Lions fans like already. You got a couple of fullbacks. Riley Nowakowski out of Indiana. You know me, absolutely adore him. Max Bredesen out of Michigan. Interior offensive linemen, you've got Dylan Wade of Auburn, Jaden Roberts of Alabama, Ahmad Reed Adams of Texas A&M, Brian Parker II out of Duke, Pete Nigra from Louisville, Fabici Nwewu from Oklahoma, Micah Morris from Georgia, Giovanni L. Hardy from Michigan, Inez Cooper out of Miami of Florida, DJ Campbell out of Texas, Jagan Burton and Josh Brown both from Kentucky, and Evan Bernstein from Northwestern. We are about to kick this off, so we'll keep going through the rosters as we go along, but there's going to be a lot to go for here. So we've got the American and the national sides. Oh no, that's that. We got the East and the West sides. Sorry. Keep forgetting which bowl this one is, as we're about to get kick-off in the standard NFL fashion. Clock always runs during these games. Stoppages are not there just so it doesn't go on too long, as we have a return off the bat to the 10, to the 20, to the 27 just abouts. And again, I'll have to update these as I go along as to who's actually in. But we've got the East side coming out first, and it looks like Jalen Daniels we've got first out of the bag from Kansas. He's a 6th-year senior, spent them all at Kansas, 61% passer rate, percentage completion over his career, over 9,000 passing yards, 67 touchdowns, and 31 interceptions. He's a semi-dual threat. He's got 2,000 rushing yards, 23 rush touchdowns, but he's got 33 fumbles as well. As the first play he is going to roll out, he's got a receiver for a really short gain. That looks like one of his tight ends that he's got there. I think that was the LSU tight end, if I was reading that rightly, but as I say, this is going to be a little difficult. Looked like Bauer Sharp, but I could be wrong. But yeah, we're seeing Jalen Daniels up first. In terms of these quarterbacks, I am looking forward to seeing Haynes the most, if he is there. Again, some of these guys don't actually play in the game themselves. I've been out all day, so I've not had a chance to fully check in on who is and isn't playing, but we will see. We got a center out of Kentucky. And we got a sack. First on a 2nd and 7. We have a huge sack. That is Thompson Jr. That is James Thompson Jr. out of Illinois. Just gets a straight rush through the middle, unblocked. That's crazy. He's just allowed a straight rush there at Jalen Daniels, and he makes sure. And these Illinois defensive linemen, they've been good in recent years. They have been very good. So, early big sack there for the West. We've got a long down now. We've got 3rd and 16. As we have another nearly sack. It's a dump off. It's quite decent in the end. Good game, but it's going to be a punt. It only goes back to the 30. That is Eli Heidenreich, the Navy fullback, running back, wide receiver, whoever you like there. But pressure again immediately off the edge. It's a good throw from Daniels to not to not stall in that period there, but he gets it away. Eli Heidenreich gets a catch, but it's going to be 4th and 9, and the first drive ends in a punt. And if you were going to put a bet on this game that both opening drives were going to end in punts, you get some. You'd not get much money out of it because it's pretty much a guarantee. Big punt in the air there. The ball is taken at the West 28. Is returned to about. Oh, he's gone around the edge to the 40 to the 45. That is a really good return there. That is an Iowa Hawkeye. Just trying to work out which one of them it is. We need to find an Iowa Hawkeye skill player for that one. Oh, I love these. I think it is. That is Caden Wetgen, I believe. I know a few Lions fans have been sniffing around this kid. Great slot receiver out of Iowa. And he gets his hands on the ball early. I will get to your comments in a minute. I'm just trying to keep up to date with this until the commercials come on, and then I will break down and check all the comments that have been left. Not seen who's coming for the West at quarterback just yet. I will update that in a minute. That looks like a Hawkeyes. That might be Mark Gronowski as the ball is handed off. Tackle behind the line of scrimmage, but the running back gets about a yard or two. It's good yak ability, that is, as it is Mark Gronowski in at quarterback for the West. One of Ryan's favourites. He's been in the FCS for most of his career with South Dakota. Silly numbers. 12,016 passing yards, 103 touchdowns, 2,700 rushing yards, 53 rushing touchdowns. This man is the ultimate dual threat quarterback, and I think he will get some looks if he shows out here. He drops back to throw. It's just a short dump off. It is blocked pretty well. Managed just to sneak through a gap there, and that looks like a first down. Not entirely sure who got that one. I'll just have to wait and see. But it is going to be a first down. Doing alright trying to get the players so far, but if I can't see the helmets, and obviously I can't listen to the commentary, we will there. Yeah. Oh, I've missed a lot of comments. I will get back to them. That is DiGiorgio. That is... Oh, that's one of their offensive linemen. Anywho. Snap back to Gronowski. It is at the 45 of the East. So, promising offensive drive here. Handoff. Big tackle for a loss of about 4 yards. And that is the Duke edge. That is... Get my list up. Where is he? Wesley Williams, I believe, off the edge. Just breaks through that block in the interior line. And what a tackle that is. Yep, that's Wesley Williams, the Duke edge. Oh, he's kind of a hybrid guy. Plays a little at the 5 tech. But yeah, 2-time honourable mention, all ACC. Good start from him there. It's going to be a 2nd and 15. Good riposte there from the East's defense. Gronowski is in the pocket. Clear pocket. Throws a screen out. Receiver makes a man miss, but he is tripped. Gets about 11. That is Connors out of Houston. That is the running back. Dean Connors out of Houston. He's an interesting cat. I'm doing a little bit more work on him, but Houston's prospects looking good. Tanner Koziel has been looking good at the Shrine Bowl. And he's put on some weight as well, which is huge for him. So yeah, these Houston guys doing well so far. We are at 3rd and 7 at the 41 of the West. Gronowski drops back. Edge pressure. Ducks under it. What an escape. He's broke the pocket. He's going. He's past the 30. Going to the 20. And what a play from the Iowa Hawkeyes quarterback there. Ducking under the pressure off the edge. Keeping his composure. I don't know who got to him, but just shrugs it off. Sticks his feet in the ground, goes running. This is his dual threat ability that he possesses and why he's so good. Look how slippery he is. Slippery when wet. good 20-ish yard gain there for him, and then just slides nice and easy. Really good play there from the Hawkeyes QB, and that is a 1st and 10, and the West is knocking on the door at the East's 23. Handoff. No, it's not. That's a great fake. That is. He rolls out. Great throw and a catch there. That is number 81. That is Williams with the catch there. That is a lovely catch. That is. It is. Oh, this is someone who's been bought on the roster, I think. Or is this a tight end? That's a tight end. Is that a tight end? Trying to work out. It's a blank helmet. Whatever the hell it is. That is a great catch, that is. It's a 1st and goal situation now for Gronowski. They're at the 7. Snap back. He drops the throw. He's waiting. Throws the out route. Oh, that's a good pass breakup, that is. Good pass breakup. That's a good rep from both players there. That is the Texas Tech DB. That is. I should know which one this is. That's Cole Wisnowski, the safety. And I know a lot of people are high. Look at that. That's great coverage there. Cole Wisnowski in the end zone. A lot of people really high on him. He's Mitch's brother, the punter from Buffalo, I believe he's at currently. But yeah, Cole Wisnowski, he's another safety from North Dakota State, or he was initially. Texas Tech picked him up as they run on the second drive. The run is through and he's about a yard short. That is really close. That looks like CJ Donaldson out of Ohio State. Loved him when he was at West Virginia. Power runner. You can see him here. Just nice feet. Hits the gap. Goes through the safety. Gets an extra 3 yards. And they're going to be down at the 1 yard line. That looks like Lander Barton, the Utah linebacker who saved the touchdown there. Lander Barton is another prospect I love coming into this draft cycle. And I won't be bad if the Lions got him. It is I think we got a false start. It's a 3rd and 1, but it looks like we've got our first false start of the game. We do. I don't know who's been pinged for that. See if I can turn the volume up a bit just to help me. That looks like the right guard who's done that time. Is that Barrett? Where's my interior, guys? Or is that Bernstein? Trying to find out. Oh no, it's Jager Burton from Kentucky. False started. Naughty boy. So it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 6. Drops back. Surveying. Plenty of time. And he's picked! Oh no, he's not. Wait, what the hell's that gone? How was that not an interception? Sorry for my... What on earth went on there? I thought that was an interception. That is Cole Wisnowski again. I love him. Throw is up. Oh, it's to the back. Oh, it was to the wrong guy. Let's see. Oh, he should have got that. He should have got it, Cole, but it went through his legs, but he broke it up. That is 2 red zone pass breakups from Cole Wisnowski on that drive. They're going to kick. Do have the kicker names up here. We've got, as it goes through, I don't know which one of them it was, but the 2 kickers are Dominic Zavada out of Michigan and Trey Smack from Florida. Both of them very good kickers in their own rights. But yeah, what a drive that was from Cole Wisnowski. 2 pass breakups in the end zone for the former North Dakota State Bison man, now at Texas Tech. And now I can finally get along to your comments. Going all the way back to Vented, I like to buy jerseys of players who've left the team or changed numbers in my area. You can get real Gibbs jerseys for under 50. That would be awesome. They cost a lot to get over here. I bought a DJU jersey for 40 and a Mitch Marner jersey for 60. Ash would love that. Canadian. Oh, nice to have you in the building with me, Vented. I'd love the Lions to find a nice Big Ten power back in the late rounds. I feel like there are always solid backs. There are. Although the power back I want is out of the American this year. But there's some good there's always good running backs coming out of the Big Ten. Exactly where I live. It's pretty funny whenever I'm downtown. Which college team do I like? NC State. I'm an NC State fan. Purely because of the draft prospects that come out of there. They were like the first ones I really grew attached to. Aleem McNeil, like been the specific guy, but they've produced a lot of players I like draft wise. So they were the first ones. I took them on as the first ones. But there's other teams I'm soft towards. Pittsburgh, Yukon. I'm quite big on a lot of their prospects, and just an overall group of 5 guy as well. I'm a small school guy for the most part, but yeah, NC State is my big one, and Ryan's is Arizona State. But yeah, I'm getting myself an NC State jersey. They're on offer over here on UK Fanatics, so I can do that. I've been hearing some of the names on other pods, but they're kind of a blur. They are. No one really takes a look at the Shrine Bowl, and there's so many prospects out of there. People don't really give them the time of day, which is why we do the deep dives on them usually, so that you can learn a bit more about them. And there's a few guys I'm going to talk about in detail as this stream goes on. Venter goes, I like El Hadi, but I think the Lions could do a lot better at O-line. There's one O-line I'm really interested in. Goes, Proctor is my guy first round. Yeah, I'm not high on Caden Proctor at the minute, but I will watch more tape and see if I change my mind, because some of these ones early you can change your mind on them. Jaden Daniels is a super fun player in the college football video games. I don't know about real life. Jalen Daniels, I remember Ryan used to wax lyrical about him all the time. His earlier years at Kansas, it looked like he was going to be a star, and it kind of just never materialised for him. I know he's had some injury issues, but I like what he brings to the table. But so he's the 6th-year guy now. It's going to be tough for him. It's going to be tough for him really to get much. He'll probably be a UDFA. Sack for highlight tape. I don't have the game, so I appreciate you calling it. And hey, that's fine, Marker. It's on NFL Network. I don't know if you can get it, but it seems to be. It's working all right for me for now. But I will have a proper watch back through it when I get a chance as well. I have the game, I just don't think I want to watch it. I know what you mean. With these all-star games, they can sometimes be a bit boring. I like to watch them, though. I like to watch the prospects as much as I can. Specifically the small school guys. Like the small school guys you watch these for to see how well they do against some better opposition. There's been some late entries into this cycle as the East begin their second drive as a return to the 20. There is a offensive tackle from Slippery Rock, who are a Division 2 team. He is the only Division 2 player here. I had to add him to my roster late on. Let's see if they play him. He is called Joe Cooper. He is like 6'5" and 330 pounds. He's from Slippery Rock. I have no idea where Slippery Rock is. If anyone does, feel free to enlighten me. But by all accounts, he's been doing pretty well. They've been playing him at guard because he's got shorter arms. But I don't like the whole, oh, he's short arms, put him at guard type. I hope he gets a few reps at tackle as the East start their next drive with a run. Thompson Jr. again, the Illinois defensive lineman on the tackle. He's having a good start to this game. Got the sack already. And a good run stop there for the big man out of Illinois. He is big as well. Only been introduced to him more recently, but I like what I see from him. As we are on a 2nd and 7. Jalen Daniels still under centre. Can't see who's in at running back at the minute, but we will get there as there is a second handoff in a row. Straight up through the middle, and that is a first down. What a job from the interior offensive line. This is Kentrell Bullock out of South Alabama. Now, for those of you with really good memories from the college pod, he was part of the Phil Steele All-American preseason All-American teams when we did the whole Group of 5 Power 5 stuff, and I believe me and Ryan chose the Sunbelt guys as the ones to watch this year. Kentrell Bullock was one of the 2 preseason All-Americans. He had a 1,000-yard season. I think he was former USC. Anywho, as Jalen Daniels drops, moves out left, gets another pass for a first down. And they're starting to move the football pretty well here. That is the tight end out of Tennessee. Oh, Lord. I have to keep going back to doing my name boards because I can't remember everybody from these things. Not the tight end out of Tennessee. Is it the tight end out of Tennessee? It is. I can't remember his name. I think he's been one of the late additions to it. I will get back to that in a minute. Well, we've got a 1st and 10 here. They are at their own 43, but they've moved it over 20 yards so far. Kentrell Bullock still in at running back. Jalen Daniels still in at quarterback. Fake handoff, good run block there from Kentrell Bullock, but Daniels has to stick it into the ground as there's pressure coming up through the middle. Is that a Michigan helmet I see? Oh, I'm not sure. Where's that? That's not a Michigan helmet. Who are you? Or are you a Michigan helmet? No, it's a Missouri helmet. My bad. Who is from Mizzou here? We'll have to try and find that one out as well. I appear to have a few names missing from my list, as on 2nd and 10, Jalen Daniels really good out the pocket, escapes pressure. The throw is dropped. It was fairly high. That was for one of the LSU receivers. That was either Xavier Thomas or Chris Hilton. Just try and fetch one, but good work in the pocket there from Daniels, which throws it a little bit too high. I think that was Xavier Thomas on the catch there. Not really much he could do about that, right above his head. Had a lot of juice on it as well. If he'd have caught that, that would have been a worldie. We've got a 3rd and 10. They're still in their own half. The West threatening to get another stop here. Oh, nearly gets a jump. Daniels, empty set, drops back, throw, out. Oh, it's dropped. Oh, that's a doozy. That should have been caught. They're celebrating there. That is the Montana Grizz wide receiver. Oh, boy. Now, that was a doozy. Oh, was this a good PB? Let's have a look. The throw is good. Oh, yeah, that's a drop. That's a drop. That is Jalen Walthall, sorry. He's the Incarnate Ward. That looked like a Mizzle, unless he's just wearing a Grizz helmet, but I'm pretty sure that was Jalen Walthall. As the ball's punted away on 4th and 10. Big punt down to the... Oh no, it's gone in the end zone. Thought that had gone down to the 1. And the East are going to come out for their 2nd try. Sorry, the West are going to come out for their 2nd try. Got a field goal on the 1st drive. Let me get back to the comments as we go to a commercial break. Oh, Michigan basketball's on. Yeah, Michigan basketball's on a tear right now. Both these sounding fired up. They are. I always root for the West. I bet you do, Marker. Grandizer's in the building. Hope you're well, Grandizer. Nearly forgot about the Shrine Bowl today. We don't forget about the Shrine Bowl. We don't forget about the Shrine Bowl. We don't forget about the Legacy Bowl. I'm hoping they show the HBCU Legacy Bowl this year so I can stream it, because it's always a pain in the arse trying to get it done. But yeah, Cole Wisnowski getting a lot of love in the chat. Where's Ryan? Yeah, if you know, you know with Ryan. Ryan is still on hiatus at the minute. I'm hoping we get him back soon. But yeah, can't really go into it much more at the moment in time. But you will see them. You will see them again soon. I've seen that Brian Parker 2 Duke is listed as a centre for this game. He played right tackle at Duke, but maybe a better right guard at NFL level now. Centre. The game's been hit by some centre withdrawals. Pat Coogan was meant to be here, the Indiana centre, but obviously he played in the Natty not so long ago and he got a knockout of it, so he's not there. So they've been moving some other guys into centre to check there. I did mention the kickers, Zavada and Smack. They'll both be NFL kickers, they will. Dominic Zavada's a hell of a kicker, and so is Trey Smack. I would not be surprised, actually, if one of them got drafted. Someone threw a pick at them late on. Now, there's one centre guy I'm watching. I will get to him in a moment. Slippery Rock sounds Midwest as F. Yes, it does. Oh, it's in Pennsylvania. Okay, that's fine. Slippery Ant-Man of UK. Miles Kinselman was the Tennessee tight end. Great. So Western Pennsylvania for Slippery Rock. I'll remember now. I only need to be told once and then I will remember. Eli Raridan, the Notre Dame tight end, is low-key looking like a riser in the draft. Tanner Koziol's the big riser so far. Tanakoziel is really... Tanakoziel's looking great. He's whacked on 15 pounds as well, and his blocking looks great. Like, he might be the best receiving tight end in this draft already. If he's putting muscle on and looking better blocking, then someone's going to pick him potentially as high as round 2. I see Tanakoziel going. Michael Wortham, the Montana receiver, that's fine. I don't think my list has been fully updated, so yeah, Grandizer, keep on correcting me as and when. The West starting off from the 20, got a handoff here, run up through the middle for about 6. That looks like Dean Connors is in. It is Dean Connors, the Houston running back. He doesn't look NFL built, but trust me, this guy can move. He is fun to watch on the tape. It might take a bit of time until he's drafted, but someone's going to get a fun player with him as and when they do. He gets 6. It is a 2nd and 4 at the 26-yard line. He's back in again. Fake Gronowski is in, rolls out. Great throw to the receiver for a first down. Bang on the money. Gronowski's looking good so far. That looks like the Cincinnati receiver. Am I looking at that right? That is the Bearcats receiver. That's Jeff Caldwell. That just sounds like the most, white man office name ever. He sounds like a lawyer, Jeff Caldwell does, but that's a great catch from him. Really good throw from Gronowski, and there was a penalty on that play as well, which has given them a few more yards. Couldn't quite make out what the penalty was for, but just like that, they're up to the 38. But Gronowski's looking damn good so far. He's putting on a show. Tosses it back. We've got a new running back into the equation. Hits the right tackle gap. Gets a couple. That is CJ Donaldson, the Ohio State running back. He's had a couple of carries. Nearly got a touchdown on the first drive. Got them down to the 1. If not for a great tackle from Lander Barton to stop him from getting into the end zone. It's been quite a fun game so far. He gets just 2. So we're at 2nd and 8. We've got just a minute left of the first quarter. Obviously, the clock just keeps rolling in this. It never stops, so that it's not an obscenely long game. Obviously, with it just been an exhibition per se. CJ Donaldson is in the backfield. Gronowski again fakes the handoff. Takes a big shot downfield and a catch again. And that is Jeff Caldwell again. 2nd big catch on the drive for the Bearcats receiver. And Gronowski's throwing some absolute darts here. Great fake there. Just sits in the pocket. Absolutely zips that thing in. And Caldwell gets some really good separation there. Big stiff arm to the DB on his way down as well for good measure. So the West are moving the ball again. Can the East make another stop in their own red zone? They're not quite there yet. They're at the 37-yard line are the West. But they are moving. Gronowski rolls out again, but he rolls into a defender and he grounds it. Good, smart decision from him there. That is the Duke edge. That's Wesley Williams again. Wesley Williams had some good pressures here. Made a few good impact plays at the start of this game. So yeah, Wesley Williams anticipating the rollout from Gronowski just gets in his face. Gronowski wisely gets rid of it, and we are at a commercial break again. So I can get back to the comments. We have lots of comments. I appreciate all of you who are in here with me this evening. And I thought the bowl was this weekend. That's the Senior Bowl. Senior Bowl's on Saturday. The bowls are usually spread out more than this. I'm not sure why they're so close together this time. They're usually spread out better. It's made it a nightmare to try and do all the roster. Because, honestly, deep diving one of these rosters, they're huge. It takes me 2 days. And that's just to get a basic understanding of everybody, let alone an in-depth one to the ones I actually like. So this has been a nightmare trying to get these sorted. So we're probably going to do a review of the bowls afterwards, so we've got more time to really dig down into them. But yeah, they are close there. Lisa's in the building. I think I've already said hello, but if not, hello Lisa. Hope you're doing well. Red Murdoch, inside linebacker from Buffalo, says Grandizer, another I've heard in some podcasts this week. Inside linebackers from Buffalo always get chatter. It was Sean Dolak last year. It's Red Murdoch this year. Yeah. And at halftime, can you tell us about Steve? I can tell you what I know. but it's not good. Another pain in the arse thing in life. Do you think any of the upcoming rookie QBs will be really good in the NFL? No, don't worry, Grandizer. I put the names in there, Grandizer. My list is not fully up to date. I know you're not correcting me out of, maliciousness or anything. I know you're doing it, and I appreciate it, so carry on doing that. Are any of the upcoming rookie QBs will be really good in the NFL? I think Fernando Mendoza will be good, but, he's going to be a first overall pick, so it kind of feels like I'm cheating there. Out the back of that, I'm not sure. He feels like the only one who's going to be a sure thing at this point. This is one of the weakest QB classes there will ever be. It feels like. In terms of first-round talent, I do think there is some developmental talent that might do well. As mentioned, the Lions have been talking to Haynes King this week. I know Haynes King is older, but he's run the power spread. He's ready to come up to the right system in the NFL. He is tough as nails. I do think there is a future where Haynes King could potentially see some starts in the NFL and do well. Taylon Green is the one I would really, really like out of Arkansas. This goes back to his time at Boise State, but he is a true dual threat. And I think his work has just been really underrated in college, because first it was Boise, and then he went to Arkansas, and Arkansas is not exactly the place you want to go to shine as a quarterback. It's been a little bit of a mess there, so... But I think Taylon Green could be in the conversation as well. But I think Haynes King is the one that, if you're looking for a surprise out of some of the guys who are not going to be there early, I think he's your one. Outside of that, I'm not seeing a great deal. But I could be wrong. I probably am going to be wrong. QBs are not my speciality, really. I've not had any good QB takes ever. Like, I've had some great ones at safety, edge, tackle. Like, I can name you quite a few good ones I've had, but I've never had a good QB. I've never had a good QB take in my life. I was all aboard the KJ Jefferson train, and that died very quickly as the West get back to work. The 2nd and 10 goes for a couple of yards. I think that's still CJ Donaldson in there. So we got the 4 quarterbacks here for the West. Mark Gronowski, Miller Moss, Haynes King, Joe Fagnano. You know what? Fagnano's so interesting to me. It's just he's old, but he looks so good. He made a Biletnikov participant out of Skylar Bell this year. I think Joe Fagnano has got like a 1,000,000-to-1 shot, but I think he can do it. I'd be interested to see him in this game as Gronowski drops on a 3rd and 7. He gets swarmed, escapes, 1 tackle, 2 tackle, runs, puts his head down. He's not quite going to get it. It's going to be 4th and 2, but again, Gronowski making plays. He evaded 3 tackles in the pocket there. One of the D tackles comes through, then he breaks an edge, then the linebacker comes up. 1 tackle broke, 2 tackle broke. 3 tackle brokes, and he puts his head down into the DB. That's some good, tough running from Mark Gronowski there. He's been very impressive so far in this game. Throws have looked good. His running, his escapability out the pockets look good. This is what he's about. 4th and 3. They're going to go for it at the 28. He drops. Looks, runs. He's going to get the first down. And again, Gronowski using his legs gets about 8. This is impressive stuff. Really, really impressive from Mark Gronowski so far. Look at him. Sits in the pocket, goes through all his reads, can't see anything, has a little look, jukes, makes a guy miss. Like, he does everything you want from a quarterback. He goes through all his reads, there's nothing there, he's still in a clean pocket. Is there somewhere I can run to? It's a critical 4th down. Yes, there is. Make a man miss, get it. Excellent play there from him. Looks like Dean Connors is back in the backfield. You can tell because his legs look like twigs. Tossed back to Connors. Little juke. Doesn't really get him much there. That's about 1 yard at best. You can see Lander Barton in the scrum there coming up, making another tackle. Love Lander Barton. There are several Utah players I want on this Lions team when we're done. I want Dallin Bentley here. I would like Lander Barton here as well. Good feet there from Connors, but just runs into a wall And that looks like Wesley Williams. Oh no, that's Rice. Is that Rice? That was either Rice or Duke. If that's Wesley, that's Rice. I have to look who the Rice edge is in this, but that is a good stop from him. 2nd and 9. Gronowski throws in stride. First down. Another wonderful throw there. Gronowski's throwing some darts at this moment in time. Look, a little shimmy off the edge from the receiver. Fired in stride. That is as perfect a throw as you'll see over a bowl game weekend. And it's my mystery man again who's not got a helmet designation, so I can't work him out. I think it's number 81 on the west side. I'll have to have a look, but we've got a 1st and 10 again. Gronowski drops, surveys, throws, another beautiful throw from him. And a great tackle. That is Johnson, the DB out of Arizona, who has just saved a touchdown. But once again, Gronowski looking, throws perfectly in stride. That is Williams again, the 81. I can't work out his helmet classification. Whoever he is, that's 3 big catches for him now. He's just got a pure white helmet, but the Arizona DB just saved a touchdown. This is a 2nd and 1 at the 4. Handed off to Connors. He hits the edge. He's going. He's getting a touchdown. And there you have it. Your first touchdown of the Shrine Bowl. And what patient running that was from Dean Connors out of Houston. Did not. He could have just tried to pile in there for the 1 yard for the first down. But no. Watch this play again. Back to Gronowski, holds it off. Connors waits, just shimmies across. Great block from Mark Gronowski. It's the quarterback who throws the block that gets him in, and he takes out 2 players on the drive. That is absolutely phenomenal work from Mark Gronowski on that drive. He was tremendous. The throws and then been lead blocker for Dean Connors for the touchdown. You've got to go for 2 points in these games, by the way. Which makes it seem weird why there's no kickers involved for PATs. Gronowski drops, surveys, drops back, still looking, aims at the end zone. Oh, no, not quite. Does not get it. That was one of the LSU receivers he went for. Tried to go through it with one hand. But watch this here. Connors there. Gronowski out. 1. He stacks blockers. That is absolutely tremendous work from Mark Gronowski there. What a you will not see a better block from a quarterback in this draft process at all. He just take himself out there and bang, he's gone. This is what Gronowski is. He's huge for a quarterback. Let me get his measurables. He's 6'2", 235 pounds. So he's got the build of a fullback. So he can go in and drop the shoulder and throw a block if he wants to. But that's an absolutely tremendous drive from him here. Contrapaston's in the building, he goes. Your live Ant night just got better. I appreciate you, man. Glad you could make it. Right, Ant, this is what I'm thinking. The bowls are usually spread out, and normally I think it's the Shrine Bowl, then the Legacy Bowl, then the Senior Bowl. Nah, the HBCU Bowl's always been later than the Senior Bowl. Always. Because with the HBCU players going to the Shrine Bowl and the Senior Bowl. God, I've just choked. Sorry. With HBCU players usually going to other bowls, they want them all available, so they wait till bowl season's technically over, and then the Legacy Bowl can get all its HBCU candidates for it. And it gets more exposure. It'll get more exposure afterwards. So, and you know, because it's a whole week. Like it's not more than the practice. It's like a whole week thing. So they want it to have its own exposure. Sawyer Robertson, QB stock rising, not first round, but backup. Yeah, I'm not sure with Sawyer. Ryan's a better one to ask about that, and I'm not sure he's got 100% there. And had they said this draft, if a team is looking for a backup, this is the draft to get one. Clean house on QBs here. There could be some backup QBs here. There could. I don't think there's many starters, though. Yes, Mark Gronowski's block is getting blown up all over. That was tremendous, that was. Lions could nab 2 backup QBs in this draft. I'd prefer 1. I don't want to waste my picks or my UDFA spots, but we will see. And you mentioned Joe Cooper, Slippery Rock. Wonder if he will be a darling of the draft like Quinn Miners out of Wisconsin Whitewater was a few years back. I tell you what, you listen, because I listened to some of his interviews afterwards, and his head's screwed on right. Like, it's like Henry, the running back, showed a tremendous attitude as to where he's been, and he's been at smaller schools, but the reasoning why, it's not a talent issue, it's just the right sort of thinking. But he's very switched on. But they've been playing him at guard because he's got short arms, so we'll see. But he's made some good plays I've seen this week for him. So obviously D2 players are always darlings in some people's eyes. There were people who go to bat for them. Like, I like my small school guys. I don't always go down to the D2 guys, but there aren't many of them this year. Not as many as there have been in recent years. Sorry, I don't have a player from Rice on the roster here. It might have been Duke. It was hard to see the lettering on the side, but it could have been the D. CJ Williams, wide receiver, Stanford. No, the Gronowski block was tremendous. Dean Connors is going to be fun. I don't know if he is there, but there's a fullback on each team. Riley Nowakowski's not a fullback. He's just a human cheat code. Like, I love him. I would love the Lions to get him on the roster. He's a great receiver. He works at tight end. He works at fullback. I believe, if I remember rightly, one of Indiana's touchdowns in the final was because of one of his blocks from the fullback position. I'm sure I'm right there. I could be wrong, but Riley Nowakowski is a proper Swiss Army knife. Like, I ditch Varkey and I get Nowakowski, and like he would do that little, he would do that utility role brilliantly for the Lions. So hopefully we get to see him in the game. I know he's on the roster, but I've not seen him in the game so far. But he is a very versatile, all-round go-to guy. And he's a fun player as well. Is it that? Yeah, because I know sometimes there are some HBCU players that play in the Shrine and Senior Bowl. There usually are. I don't think there's many this year. But I remember reading one of Gerald's articles at the beginning of the year where he didn't have that many draftable grades up this year. But obviously that can change over the course of a season. I've not really checked in on the HBCUs just yet because I do that after the Shrine and Senior Bowl have gone, because I've got like a week, I've got a couple of weeks just to dive down into the HBCU guys. But I've not seen many of them knocking round this year. I've not seen many of them. Joe Cooper, Slippery Rock, plays left tackle, so at the NFL level, left guard. I don't like just presuming that. I hate it so much, but I guess that's, and of course his level of competition as well. I think sticking him at left tackle in the NFL would be a big step up. Maybe he could go inside to come back out. Who knows? The East get going again. They're down 9-0. Big scrum push forward for about 9 yards. They're loving the physicality from that. Good first snap there, as we're getting one of these stupidly timed interviews, so I kind of have to wait for the interviews to be done whilst the game's happening, so it makes it even harder to call. But that was a good rugby scrum, as we call that. I love a good rugby scrum. I'm not sure. I don't know what all the hats are to do with either. I didn't watch the pre-game show much, but this is a 2nd and 2. I think the QB's changed, but I will have a look. Throw out wide. Good catch there. Really good catch from Chip Trainum, the Toledo running back, who just leaked out the backfield there. Went out on the screen, got the 2 yards needed for the first down. It was a good throw to him as well. Chip Trainum was interesting. He's 6th year, but he's not got many miles on the clock. He had a 1,000-yard year at Toledo this year, but I ain't sold. He was meant to be. He got bogged down in that rotation at Ohio State, didn't play much. Went to Kentucky, didn't do much. Went down to the MAC and did well this year. He's in again. Handoff is made, but that is stuffed at the line to gain. So there's going to be no line to gain whatsoever here. And I can't see the player names because they're doing an interview and they're not going in on them. So I will do my best as and when I can. But that was a good stop there. And if there was one player I'd expect to play in all three of these bowls, or two of them, is Eric Hunter, the linebacker from Morgan State. Yeah. Product of Gerald. Gerald's now head guy at Morgan State. And they're already pumping out NFL talent. So, Coach Huggins doing the biz there for them as they go down to the ground again. And that's going to be about 3 yards a gain, that is. It's Chip Trainum running the football now. I'm not big on him as a prospect, though. I'm all in on Robert Henry Jr. And we'll talk why in a moment. But I've not seen him yet, and I don't know if he's playing. I think he's playing, but I haven't seen him yet. But Robert Henry's the one that I want to come to Detroit. Depending on what we do with Monty. If Monty leaves, then there's a different one I go for, but, we'll see. Chip Trainum running back out of Toledo. Yep, indeed. As we got a drop back on 3rd and 7. Big throw. Is that a catch? I can't make that out. They're claiming it is. That's going to be a great snag if it is. It is. That is McCree. Is that Lake McCree, the tight end out of USC? Oh my god, what a catch that is. That looks like a USC helmet. That is McCree. I think that is a Trojan, What a catch there. Stunner. One-hander bringing it into both. Oh yeah, that's definitely a Trojan. Lake McCree, the big mustache man. See, he's there, 6'4", 251 pounds. I don't reckon much to... Dallin Bentley's the only tight end worth a damn here for me. But there's some decent pass catchers here. Not a lot of good blockers, but some good pass catchers. But big play from Lake McCree there on 3rd down. I think the Lions have some interest in Taylor Green as well, and I hope they do. Oh no, it wasn't called a catch. Sorry, my bad. They reversed it. They did initially call it a 1st down. They punt it away down to the 6. Good punt from the East, but the West 9 points up here, and with the ball in hand. Well, that was a shame, that was. I thought that was a really good catch from Lake McCree, but apparently not. He must have dropped it out of bounds because his foot was in bounds. I was wondering what to eat for dinner before work. Maybe pizza time again. Go for it. Go for some pizza. But yeah, Taylor Green is intriguing to me. Maybe not because of what he's done, but he's a dual threat and he's younger. And I think, yeah, he's just been stuck in a really bad Arkansas system, which has kind of held him back. But he's just been really underrated. No one's talked about him since he went there. And I think he's just steadily done a very good job for the Razorbacks. So I'd be intrigued to see if we talk to him a little bit or not. I hope we do. As we're in commercial break at the moment. So who did we mention? I was going to talk about some players in this. But in terms of the running backs, obviously the Lions potentially have a need at running back going forward. Dependent on what happens with David Montgomery, you're either looking for a running back 3 behind them, because I'm not sold on Varkey being that guy yet. I think someone else should come in and do it. Or if Monty goes, you want someone who's really going to replace his skill set and what he does, which is not easy, but you need to find a guy. But Robert Henry Jr., the UTSA running back, is the one that I really like out of all the ones who are here at the Shrine Bowl. He's 5'9", 205 pounds, so he's on the smaller side. He's a 5th-year guy. He spent the last 3 with the Roadrunners. He spent 2 in JUCO before that. His collegiate career is 2,339 rushing yards at 5.8 yards per carry, 27 touchdowns, just 6 fumbles. He's got 55 receptions for 419 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. Has done no returning or special teams work, which is a pain for some of these running backs. But I love this guy and what he's about. He's out of Mississippi. He is one of the most decorated running backs in Mississippi's high school history. Finished with 99 touchdowns in his high school career. And he had offers from Kentucky and South Carolina. coming out of high school, but he actually chose to go to JUCO instead because these big schools weren't offering him really much playing time. He was going to sit around and maybe snaffle some special teams work. So he made the decision to go all the way down to JUCO with Jones College, about 50 miles away from where he lives, as the West's drive gets underway on the 6. Handoff to the running back, stumbles forward for about 3 yards. Just trying to see who we've got in now. Is that still Connors? That still looks like the Houston running back, Connors, that's in there. Yes, it is. As Miller Moss is in the game now. Miller Moss, the Louisville quarterback. It's his 5th year. He's only spent 2 years as a starter. Was a starter at USC last year, but got supplanted by Jordan Maeva. But he's had a decent year at Louisville. But another older prospect 5 years behind him. He fakes, sends out a screen, and that is blown up. Blown out the water, and that is the Cal DB, Austin. Great play there from him. Great play. Don't know. I don't have a Cal one on my roster here. So must be another one in. But obviously Cal and their DBs, they know ball. The DB spot. But that was a tackle at line of scrimmage. So it's going to be a 3rd and 10 back from the 6 again. Miller Moss drops. No pressure on him. Exceedingly good protection. Eventually one breaks through. He does find a receiver. Makes a man miss. Makes 2. And that is Connors. Dean Connors, the running back, and I think he may have got a first down out of that. That's a tremendous play from Dean Connors, and he has. Indeed, that's he made 3 guys miss there. What a play from the young running back. He's made an impression so far with his lovely blonde mustache as well. I want him to show that again, but it was a screen pass out to him. He ducked under one challenge, beat 2 other challengers going to the perimeter and got out of bounds. It's going to be a first down at the 16 here for the West. Fake by Miller, rolls out. He's looking, takes the easy dump off, gets 2 yards. 2 yards. That's the Canuck. I think that's the Oklahoma tight end. Yep, Jaron Canuck, the Oklahoma tight end, gets a catch for 2. It's a 2nd and 8. They're still hemmed down way into their own territory here, but probably moving the ball. Moving the ball well. They're at the 18. Handoff there, but huge tackle for loss, and they're going to lose those few yards they're getting. This is going to be 3rd and long. That's a tackle from Wesley Williams again, the Duke edge. That's his 3rd tackle for a loss in this game now, I believe. All against the run. It's going to be 3rd and 12. The big man from Duke making an impact on this game for the East's defense. They're 9-0 down. They need a stop here on 3rd and 12. There's only 4.5 minutes left till half time. So they need to get a stop and get the ball back and get some points on the board before they do. Miller Moss is back. CJ Donaldson, it looks like, is his running back. They've got 2 lined out wide. Miller Moss drops. Pressure up the middle and a sack. And what a play that is. Right up the middle. That is Riger. That is the Wisconsin man. Just absolutely obliterating a defensive lineman there in his path. Just comes round the edge, swims from the outside. Beautiful move there. Absolutely beautiful. That is Mason Riger out of Wisconsin. This is going to be a punt off his own end zone. They're coming after it. The punt is out and it goes to the 47. It is returned into the West's half, but there are flags here, there and everywhere, and that is going back. As it stands, the East's going to get the ball at the 46 of the West, but this might be coming back. Wortham, the Grizz receiver, on the return. But yeah, what a tackle that was from Mason Riger. He was at the edge position, then just dives inside, swims over the tackle, and wraps up Miller Moss. Great play from him. "10-yard penalty." Is that on the kicking team? Or is that on the receiving team? We'll see. But yeah, Mason Riger there, just absolutely. Don't know who he was lined up against, but he got them good. And Wesley Williams helping out with the block. Wesley Williams had a tremendous game. Keep mentioning his name. Oh, is it Brent Austin, the cornerback out of California? Appreciate that. Swear I had him on the roster here. Swear I did. Oh, I do. I completely missed him. He is on my roster. Yeah, Brent Austin. Doig. I'm having to move past this thing really quickly, trying to find everybody. So sorry, where were we? We're on commercial break now. Back to Robert Henry Jr. And as mentioned, the UTSA Roadrunner running back. So turned down Division 1 offers from the SEC. Went down to Jones College, which is just 50 miles from where he lives in Mississippi. He won the Walter Jones Trophy in 2022. That is handed out to the best JUCO player in the nation. He absolutely took JUCO by storm. Then got a ton of offers to return to Division 1 football. And once again, he turned down bigger teams. He went to the Roadrunners. Now, obviously, the Roadrunners have history with creating NFL draft talent, especially at running back. Remember Sincere McCormack, and he cited his love of the game, how the coaches made him feel this guy just lives to play for football. He's the exact epitome of what Dan Campbell looks for in a player. And you can see how hard he's worked over the last... He's been there 3 years. Bearing in mind he's been a transfer. The last 2 years, he's occupied the spot of one of the single-digit roster numbers. Now, each college has their own way of marking their special players. UTSA do it by... They assign their single-digit jerseys to the players who work the hardest, who have the most commitment to the program and are the biggest leaders by example. He's held one of those jerseys for the last 2 years. So a JUCO transfer comes into UTSA and takes one of their prized leadership jerseys in his second year, held on to it this year, had an absolute humdinger of a start to this season. He put up 170 yards on Texas A&M first game of the year, and he was on course to break some stupid records this season, but kind of tailed off as it was. But this guy is a pure explosive running back. He had the highest breakaway rush per He had the highest breakaway rush per carry in the nation last year. So the most explosive runs, the biggest runs you can get. And he ranked 4th nationally in yards after the catch. He had an average of 4.2 yards after contact, as a running back. So guys had hit him and he'd get nearly half a first down after contact. He's got terrific feet. He's got track speed. He's got breakaway speed. Like, he hits a gap, he's gone. Obviously, he's not anything to do with Derrick Henry, but in his own right, Robert Henry Jr. is a draft diamond this year. I hope the Lions take a look at him. I know he's smaller at 5'9", 205, but this guy is a wrecking machine, as they say. The East is at the West's 48 right now. On a 2nd and 1 handoff, they get it for about 2 yards. Got a new running back in by the looks of it. One I've not seen yet. I couldn't quite make out. That might have been Eli Heidenreich, you know. Is that the Navy running back? Oh no, is it CJ Henderson again? Looks like CJ Henderson. Hang on, he's not on this roster. I'll have to have a look. I couldn't work out who it was. Shad Banks on the tackle, though, out of Tulsa. He's been brought in as a late replacement for this. He's a fun player to watch. As handoff again, that is gone for about 2 yards. Oh, that is a Raging Cajun. That is Eli Heidenreich. I don't know why he's wearing a Raging Cajun helmet, but yeah, they got the Navy running back in right now. Got the short yardage conversion. Now he's got another 2. I generally think he's going to be a service player who gets drafted, Eli Heidenreich. He's got great hands for a receiver. He's got tremendous hands. And you know that man can block. You do not play on a service team and not block. It just simply does not happen. He is only 6 foot tall, which is why they're putting him at running back. Though, he's a bit too small to be a receiver in the NFL. Potentially, but I think he could work out the slot. Have you heard Landon Robinson, the defensive tackle for Navy's name mentioned? He should be there. I don't think I had him on my initial list. Oh no, I did. I've not heard his name mentioned so far. He might just not have been in the game at this point. But there's a few of these defensive line players I've not seen yet. Don't think I've seen Tyreek Sapp. Don't know if I've seen Patrick Payton. I don't know if they're playing, but Landon Robinson is he can bench twice my body weight. It's crazy. Like 700 pounds or something like that. His power squat is. He's been on Feldman's Freaks for years now. He was number 25 last year. The dude's a freak. He's undersized, but my God, it doesn't really matter because he's stronger. He's strong as an ox. There are a lot of tackles. There are a lot of guards and centers in the NFL that would struggle with him. But I think Heidenreich's the one likely to get picked first because he's special. He's got skills. The young man has. Cal Secondary seem to have been sneaky good since 2020ish. They have. I mean, ball hawks. What they did for Hezekiah Massas this year, I assume Hezekiah Massas is at the Shrine Bowl. But the prospect out of FIU was just, he was nails. And last year, there were crazy numbers put up last year, but Hezekiah Massas has gotten that lineage going again this year. They've been really good. You can't go wrong with a Cal DB. How is the snow, Ant? Our snow's gone, so we were meant to be getting some this week, but thankfully we've not had any so far, but we don't get much snow anymore. It was only a pain for a couple of days as the East continue to go. Throw across the middle on a 2nd and 8. It's going to be about 3rd and 2. That's Eli Heidenreich again. You're seeing him as receiver now. They're using the Navy man a lot here. Oh, we've got an injury, and that's the Illinois edge, Thompson. He's had a really good game so far. He's had a sack. He's had a tackle for loss. He's had some pressures. He's down on the turf at the minute, which isn't good. Hopefully that's just a impact knock. He's clutching just under his right knee. But yeah, James Thompson Jr. in a little bit of bother at the moment. He's grimacing quite a bit. I don't know if he can put much weight on that leg or not. That'd be a loss for them. He's had a good start to this game so far. But yeah, snow's gone. Snow has gone. CJ Henderson is the running back. I thought so. It was either him or it was Trey Richardson. I am of the opinion, always try to draft a player from HBCU, FCS and military schools. Hey, look at Kobe Durant this year for the Rams. I know he got picked on a bit by the Seahawks, but he had a couple of pass breakups, 2 big picks in the game against the Bears as well. Kobe Durant's been good. Joshua Williams has won 2 Super Bowls. Don't ever sniff at a DB out of the HBCUs. I believe in fact, I say that there are not any HBCU guys. South Carolina State do have a DB knocking round. Maybe here, yes. So Jared Washington is here at the Shrine Bowl. He's out of South Carolina State. So that could be fun as we've got 3rd and 2, which is converted, and they're into the 30 now are the East. Their time's running slow for them. They've got 90 seconds left. Eli Heidenreich again. They are riding Heidenreich. Heidenride. Proper dad joke there. Eli Heidenreich. They're at the 28, but they're giving the Navy man a ton of touches here. They want to showcase him, and he's looking good. Roll out this time, dump off. They're going to get about 6. Kitzelman, that is the Tennessee tight end again. I think he got about 6 there. He's had a couple of catches now. Not actually sure who's in it. It still looks like Jalen Daniels is in there. So he's getting a lot of this game. A nice little sort of overhead throw to Kitzelman there. Kitzelman puts his big frame down, but gets shoved out of bounds. He got 6. It's a 2nd and 4. The clock is ticking. Miles Kitzelman, he must have been in last minute. Jalen Daniels' flag is blown. They did get a first down, but there is a flag. That is a pass to Dylan Bell, the Georgia receiver, I think it is. Not sure where the flag's going, though. Probably a false start. Again, I can't listen to the commentary too loud because I don't. Oh, it was on the east. False stop. So 2nd and 4 becomes 2nd and 9. They've got 1:04 to go. Snap back to Jalen Daniels. That looked like an offside. He is tracked back and sacked. He was hunted down there. That is James Newby. He's the edge from New Mexico, so everyone's been raving about this guy, Keyshawn James Newby. Look how he just darts around the left tackle there, and then good tackle on Jalen Daniels, although he gets the ball away early. But Keyshawn James Newby is frisky. He's put up some numbers this year. He's one of the few Group of 5 guys knocking around. He's the only Group of 5 edge rusher knocking round. In the Shrine Bowl altogether. But he's had a good year. Michigan fans will remember him. As we get a 3rd and 9. Jalen Daniels back. Rolls out to the left. Throws. Complete a catch. But it's going to be 2 yards short. Is that Heidenreich again? I think that's Eli Heidenreich once again. He's got so many plays on this drive. Jalen Daniels looks good, to be fair. It's a good rollout. It is Eli Heidenreich. Let's see if we're going to go for it. 4th and 2, 52 seconds left. It's 9-0. Do you want some points, or are you going to go for it? And it looks like they're going to go for it. You can see the big Kentucky man there on the offensive line. Josh Braun is one of the guards. He's in. Oh, pressure off the bat. It is a dump down, and that is blown up by the West's defense. And that play was just doomed from the get-go. Lake McCree was the target, the tight end, but the throw was 6 yards shy of the line to gain. And the West's defense slammed it up. But we've got a roughing the passer penalty on the West. And that is on James Newby. He's just made a big play, has the New Mexico man. Oh yeah, and he pile drives the quarter. Yep, that's unnecessary. Jalen Daniels jumps up into the air and Newby spears him to the ground. You can't do that. And what should have been a turnover on downs, the Lobos man goes from hero to 0 very quickly, and that can happen in these games. So we've got a 1st and goal now at the 9. Jalen Daniels still under center. Drops back, surveys, throws. And that is a great pass break up there. Is that Shad Banks again? The UTSA linebacker. I said he was from Tulsa earlier. Oh, what a play that is. That is Shad Banks Jr. from UTSA. He is a very fun player, but look at that coverage from the linebacker. Excellent work there from him. late minute addition to this. Great pass break up in the end zone there. It's 2nd and goal from the 9. What are they going to try this time? Daniels back. They hand it off to the running back. Hits a crease through the left guard and gets about 6. It's going to be a 3rd and goal. And it's Eli Heidenreich again. Great running from the Navy running back. Goes through the left guard spot there. So the left guard and left tackle did a really good job clearing that route out. It's 3rd and goal. They're going to use a timeout. 32 seconds left. You figure they're going to go for it here. So the West need 2 more stops. But yeah, Heidenreich. He's doing well so far. Been a good drive for him. Snows all the time in A Christmas Carol. Lol. Put more coal in the stove. Oh, we've had plenty of coal fires over here. It has been bitter. It's not been snowing, but it has been bitter. Impressed that he can even get the ball out in some of these. Jalen Daniels has been good. He's been very good so far. I've been impressed. There have been a couple of wayward throws, but Mark Gronowski's been the star at quarterback. He's been the ultimate star at quarterback. Just absolutely slayed this half, as the young kids would say. Matt Barker goes, I'm going to stretch out and listen. A physically tough day moving snow in the cold. I love snow shoveling. It's very therapeutic, but yes, it is draining. 3rd and goal. Daniels drops back. He's running. He's got a gap, and he's got the touchdown. The Kansas QB makes his mark, and the East get points on the board right before the half, and we have a humdinger, folks. Well, we probably don't, but it's still nice for the score to be close. We don't want this thing to be a blowout here. But yeah, comes back. Great work from the right tackle. Just opens up a lane, and the West's defense goes missing. But that is the right tackle out of Kentucky, who just absolutely carves out a lane. I think he's on James Newby there. He is. James Newby just gets shoved out wide, and that gap is bigger than the Grand Canyon. He can just waltz that thing in. Obviously, you've got to go for 2, so it's 9-6 currently. But no PATs allowed. You've got to go for 2 points. Snap back to Daniels, sits there, waits, surveys, gets his man in the end zone. And that is 2. And he finds the tight end. Or is that Williams again? Oh, no, it's Thomas. That is Thomas. I think it's... Is it Noah? Or we've got Noah Thomas and Xavier Thomas. I can't work out which one it is. I think it might be Noah Thomas. But Jalen Daniels, good drive from him there. Good riposte. There's 26 seconds left. You would figure the West are not going to try and do anything here. But yeah, 11 play, 57-yard drive. Takes just over 3 minutes. No, it's Noah Thomas. It was Noah Thomas. Yeah, I mentioned it. But doig. Yeah, Noah Thomas out of Georgia gets the 2-point conversion. Good throw from Daniels. And this game is 9-8 going into the half. Oh, feeling your age this week. Oh, you're only as old as you feel, but if you're feeling it, then yeah. They are going to give it a return to the 10, to the 20. Oh, he's hit a gap on the edge to the 30. Stiff arm down at the 30. And there is a flag on the play. 2 flags on the play, and we may have a face mask here. That is Wetjen. I guess you don't pronounce the D. Probably Wheaton, the Iowa receiver. That is a face mask. I need to learn how to pronounce his name. We'll just call him Wetjen for now. Or Wagen? He could be Wagen. Wagen sounds better. I do like to respect people's names by saying them properly, but just for today's period, yeah, he's Wagen. You can see the Seahawks Shrine Bowl alumni. They picked a lot of people from the Shrine Bowl. Jalen Sundell The man from North Dakota State playing center in a Super Bowl in his second season, I believe. 18 seconds left at the 44 here. Let's see how aggressive they're going to be. Miller Moss is in, throws a screen on the out, tries to get to the edge. It's a loss of 1 yard. Takes 8 seconds. Figure now they're not going to try anything. Coaching cabinet shuffle for the Lions, 12th night. Yes, lots of offensive coaches in Detroit now. A lot of chefs. Let's see how they cook that gumbo, as they say. But I'm excited. I think it'll be a good staff. 2nd and 11. 11 seconds to go. Are the West going to do anything of note here? I think they might just run it and let that be that. CJ Donaldson is in the backfield to Miller Moss. No, he drops. He's surveying. He's taking a look. Throws it over the middle. Gonna get about 8. And they've taken a timeout. So there's 2 seconds left. That looks like Eric Rivers, the Georgia Tech wide receiver. He is the Florida International transfer. I loved Eric Rivers back when he was at FIU. FIU pumped out some good receivers in the last few years. They just keep going to the Power 5 because FIU can't keep hold of them. But, yeah, I'd love to see Eric Rivers get a few more catches. He's got an NFL future for sure. Won't be early in a draft, but he'll eventually get there. You see, Patriots, lots of people from the Shrine Bowl. Oh, that class was so good last year. Elijah Ponder, Efton Chisholm. Oh, there were so many great underrated stories last year. I feel like this is not the greatest year for the Shrine Bowl in terms of some of the lower down guys like the FCS guys and the D2 guys, etc. But it's still my fave. Still my favourite. Trey Smack. Are they gonna give Trey Smack a massive kick? The Smack Attack, I don't know if it's called that, but I call him the Smack Attack. It looks like they're going to try and throw the football. There's 6 seconds left, so they do have a chance to throw a quick out if they want to. And who have we got in at QB here? Is this still Miller Moss? I think it's still Miller Moss. They're at the 49-yard line, so this would be a big one if they were going to give it to him. But if they get 5 more yards, let's see what they do. He's looking, throws the out, gets easy yardage, gets down to the 39 with 1 second to go. That is Eric Rivers again. Eric Rivers, the GT transfer, getting some love earlier on, and the Smack Attack's going to get a shot from 39, which will be, about 54, 55, give or take. He's good from distance. He's very good from distance. 84% on 50-yard plus attempts. 57-yarder this is going to be. See if Matthew Turner's watching the long snap here. Snap is up. Hold good. Smack Attack hits it. That looks like it's going. He's got it. What a kick from 57. The Smack Attack gets 3 for the West just before the half, and it's going to be 12-8 going into the half. What a kick from the Gator boy. He is nails. I tell you, when I say one of Dominic Zavada or Trey Smack is getting drafted with a draft pick, look at that. That is about as close down Broadway as you can get from 57. That is the perfect kick. He has just nailed one from nearly 60 and made that look easy. That had legs on it. And Grandizer is even... I've done the long snappers, actually. So, yeah, Dominic Zavada and Trey Smack are your kickers. Jack Stonehouse and Tommy Doman are your punters. Florida have got a kicker and a punter here. And your long snappers are Tyler Duzansky from Penn State, who that was, and Garrison Grimes from BYU. And that is your half-time 12-8 to the West. And that was, I must say, a thoroughly entertaining half. Let me see if I can get the half-time Shrine Bowl stats up. Shrine Bowl 2026. Not Senior Bowl. 2026 live stats. Game stats. No, we're not going to do that. I probably am not going to be able to get the stats up here at this point. Nope, we're not. Yeah, we're just going to have to go off what we've seen. But certainly that first half, names that jump out who have impressed. Mark Gronowski, the Iowa quarterback, has been absolutely tremendous. On the other side of the ball, Jalen Daniels has been very good as well. We've had some good performances in the skill positions. Eli Heidenreich, the Navy running back, wide receiver, combo guy, he has been excellent so far. A couple of good catches for Eric Rivers at the end of the half as well. Defensively, Wesley Williams, the edge from Duke, has made some big plays so far. We had a sack from Mason Reiger out of Wisconsin. We've had a sack from James Thompson Jr., the Illinois defensive tackle. He had a very good first half, but he's gone off with an injury. Hopefully nothing not too serious for him. In the linebacker ranks, Lander Barton has looked really good out of Utah so far. We expected him to do so. He's made some good plays going forward. In the DB's room, Cole Wisnowski looked very good. On that first East drive, he made 2 big pass breakups in the end zone on first and third down. So Wisnowski, the former North Dakota State product, is building his resume. It's not the strongest safety class. You have a good performance here, you could make yourself some money, as they say. So they're the ones that immediately stand out for now as having some of the better games so far. The trench warfare players, it's hard. The offensive linemen, it's hard to keep track of who is in and out of there. So we'll have to give them their little love later on. But yeah, I thought overall, entertaining first half of football there from the Shrine Bowl. Yes, we love our long snappers. We always give the long snappers the love here. So yeah, if anything you want to ask whilst the halftime break is on, then go for it. This is the time to be able to do so. Gonna break down a little bit into some of the other prospects that I've had my eye on so far. As I already talked a little bit about Robert Henry Jr. You will hear more about these guys as the season goes. We've got 3 months to the draft yet. We have plenty of time to talk more about these. But I mentioned, obviously, Robert Henry Jr. is the one I want. But if the Lions were to lose David Montgomery, then the one I'd really want to see in terms of replacing his skill set would be Roman Hemby, the Indiana running back. I'm assuming he's not here at the Shrine Bowl because most of the natty players have pulled out of their respective lines. But for him, he's 6 foot, 210 pounds. He's a 5th year. He spent 4 at Maryland, transferred to Indiana this year. 3,460 rushing yards in his collegiate career at 4.9 yards per carry, 29 rushing touchdowns, just 2 fumbles on 710 carries. The man is safe. 130 receptions for 1,107 receiving yards. He's got 5 receiving touchdowns. Been a decent kick returner, not great, but decent. And he's an experienced special teamer on kick return unit as well. But for me, he is, and you can't replace a player like for like. But if you're going to replace someone like Monty, you need a downhill, one-cut runner who's good through contact, who's good after contact, can get you the solid yardage you need to from him. Really good ball security because he's taking lots of contact in short yardage situations. Guy who's a decent receiver, not going to light the world on fire, not got the biggest route tree in the world, but he's a safety blanket for his quarterback as and when he needs him. And not got breakneck speed, but he's got a decent top speed when he gets going. He attacks the edges very well, very patient with his running, and he's just You hear that and you're like, that's Monty in a nutshell. You're going to want someone who can take a lot of punishment, who can get those hard yards. As I say, it's just 4.9 yards per carry in his collegiate career. And you look at the last few games when they've played against Alabama, when they've played against Ohio State, when they've played in the title game, when they played against Oregon. He's been averaging sort of 4.5 yards per carry, but in those games he's done a lot of dirty work, a lot of the dirty yardage they needed, a lot of the tough yardage when they're pinned up against their own end zone, when they need someone to grind out those yards, to give those easier second, third downs to Mendoza. Hemby's been that guy this year. He's had 1,000-yard season for them. He's been good as a receiver as well. You're going to probably get him day 3. Maybe day 2, but I think you would get him in day 3. But if you're going to look at replacing Monty this year, I think Roman Hemby would be the guy out of all these who you would go for. I love him. And, you know, he had a great game against Indiana last year, identified them as the team he wanted to go to this year. Said he loved the team, how it was built, how it was coached, and, of course, has just gone on and won a natty. So, yeah, I think Roman Hemby is the guy out of there that I would really, really like if Monty was to go. Let me just check through any news that I've missed. The Bills have promoted Joe Brady to head coach. I missed that. But that'll be good. Yeah, should be fun for them. Go Hawks. And have you seen who or heard Landon Robinson, DT of Navy, is doing? He is one that should get drafted this year. I'm not gonna lie, I've not heard much about Landon Robinson. But I've not been looking much at the winners and losers of the Shrine Bowl per se that much just yet. I'm going to go back over the whole event as one, but certainly not so far. You'll hear Landon Robinson's name at the Combine because he will smash the Combine. He will absolutely obliterate the Combine. So that's where you'll hear most about him. So yeah, the dude is absolutely crazy. As I say, I'm just trying to find out. I think I did post something in about some guys, and I know that Joe Cooper's been doing well, the slippery rock tackle. No. I'll have to. I'll probably look through some things there, but yeah, I've not heard Landon Robinson's name mentioned very much thus far. But it could just be me. Grandad said, I do not think it will be early in day 3, but I could be wrong. I could see a 6th round pick though. Army service prospects are hard to gauge. All I'll say is he's come from a very tough conference. I think his level of competition has been pretty good. He's played well against Notre Dame as well, which is obviously a big indicator. So I would think he will get drafted. I think the Combine will boost his stock. His stock is probably round 6 or 7 right now. I think the Combine will boost that. If people don't know about him, they will do after that. Again, he's absolutely insane. He's one of the most athletic players in the entire nation, period. And where do you see the O-lineman going in this draft? Giovanni El Hardy, Diego Pounds, Campbell from Texas for the East. I love having an offensive lineman called Pounds. Diego Pounds. That's just like a porn name, isn't it? But gonna be brutally honest, Giovanni El Hardy, I had high expectations for him, actually. I've not watched too much of Michigan this year, but I don't think he's been as good as I thought he was going to be. Pounds I don't know much of, and Campbell I don't know much of either, so I'll have to get back to you on that. I'm not really looking at guards this year. Obviously, the Lions don't really need a guard per se, so I've not really focused on the guards that much so far. But I do remember liking El Hardy once upon a time, so it's probably just me just falling out of knowledge a little bit with him. Probably would go back there if need be. QB, can I see that? Yes, and the ball is OC in Tennessee. Oh, okay. That's good for them. That's good for Cam Ward. Lions promoted me to NFL Europe play-by-play. That is the news me and Mr. I missed that news. It'd be fun. I'm not as good at the play-by-play stuff. I prefer to be the analyst, but I can do the play-by-play stuff as and when. I hope it's been alright so far. Again, it's very difficult with these All-Star games to instantly say who this is, who that is. Don't know. I've got to, but I like to think I've done a decent job so far. My knowledge can get me so far in this, and I can flute my way through a bit of it. And I was hoping that Mike McDaniel will go to the Lions. Maybe improve as an OC. Should have let his OC call the plays in Miami. I would have liked Mike McDaniel as well, but to be honest, I'm happy with Petzing and Kafka. I think they'll make a good pairing together. And Fraley in the mix. Like, between the three of them, I think they'll do a good job. Like this, I'm excited to see what Kafka brings. I think Haley will do the run stuff. Petzing will call the plays. Kafka will design those intricate little passing plays that we really missed this year under Ben Johnson. He'll add the Ben Johnson back into our offense again. Kafka will. So I'd like to think we can make this work via a committee-esque approach, but we'll see. If Petzing gets fired, then we can just promote Kafka. So we're not too bad there. And we nearly forgot about this player, the legend that is the Godfather, Dante Corleone. Feels like Dante Corleone's been in the last 3 drafts. Like, honestly, every time we get to the postseason and we get to the draft process, Dante Corleone's drafted this year because he's been eligible for the draft for a few years now. I think this is finally his year, but I think I have draft fatigue with Don Corleone now. I don't really know much about how he's done in that. Like, we did about him 2 years ago, and then he just never declared and just kept going. So... But yes, this is the Godfather's year to declare. And Lions need what? Left tackle and centre, right? They need a left tackle. They need a centre. Hell, if there's an extremely good guard in the draft, I wouldn't be beyond putting a left guard in as well. But not massive priority. What else do we need? We need a tight end. Potentially need another receiver. If Raymond goes, not sure, but it's a depth receiver. You need a running back dependent on David Montgomery, but again, not high. You need a backup quarterback. That's what you need. But yeah, your tackle and your centre are your big priorities. Outside of that, everything else is manageable. Defensively, you need everything. You need a new defensive... You need a pass-rushing defensive tackle. You need a pass-rushing edge. You need another linebacker if Anzalone goes. You need a coverage linebacker. If Anzalone is allowed to leave, coverage linebacker goes up in importance with left tackle and centre. We need a coverage linebacker, period. A good one. So that's going to be a big issue. Corner, we need a new corner. Because Rakestraw's just never going to be healthy and the others are all hurt. So you want another one in there. And safety... At safety, I'd probably go to free agency for, but I would still draft a depth safety in day 3. That is my initial list for the Lions in the draft right now, but there is a lot. Don't need any special teamers though. We've got a kicker, punter and a long snapper. I'm wondering just how the dynamic of 3 coaches will play out. Me too. But I think one of them will get overall play calling duty while the other 2 get input as to what the plays are. Like I think 2 of them will put the playbook together. Or 3 of them will put the playbook together, but 2 of them will input the plays into the playbook, and Petzing will disperse the plays as he sees fit. I think that's how it's going to work. So I think that's fine. If you've got a committee creating plays and one guy deciding where the plays go, that's how to do it. And if you did play-by-play, you could use your antisms. That's rubbish, pure balderdash, a load of bollocks. I've never said bollocks on a live draft, have I? I would hope not. That doesn't sound like me. I've used balderdash. Horseradish. Is horseradish in there? That's horseradish. We'll use balderdash and horseradish. I do have some antisms though. Everybody does when they're doing this sort of thing. We all have our go-to catchphrases. And I was going to suggest to the lads to maybe have an AZ Cards as a guest to get the scoop on the OC you just hired, but you blokes seem busy. I'm not busy now, but well, yes. Just put it this way, it has been an absolutely rotten year. This is the worst 16 months I've had in my life. It's been a rotten year. It's been horrible. So, and it doesn't show any signs of ending at the minute. So just time has been just such a pain in the neck to deal with, but I'm going to have a bit more free time for the near future, so hopefully I can get some of this stuff done. But we're going to try, like with the guests, like with the college pod. I've always meant to get more guests for the college pod, and I've just, the sheer amount of work that goes into creating them, I've just not had chance. And I need recommendations for college pod guests. Like, we've had very few. We had the Spartans guy on a few years ago who was excellent, but then I fell out of contact with him. Coach has got his job at Morgan State now, so it's difficult to get him on for the HBCU episodes. Like, the few good guests I've had for the college pod have, like, outgrown me. I am a tiny podcast. These guys become important people, and they're too big for me. So, but I understand. There's a lot of work that needs to be done on it. We've got to start. We're starting all our stuff. I've got to do all my draft prep. I've got to do all my scouting. We've got to prepare the draft shows, as well as doing the regular pod, and that's like me trying to have a life as well. So, yeah, it's just been a very difficult year. This has. So hopefully it gets a little bit better. But yeah, maybe we'll try and get a cards guy on there. We'll see, because we've got a lot of off season to go. And is there a short list of power backs that you'd like the Lions to draft in the elect? That I've not got a list of power backs yet, but Roman Hemby's at the top of the power back category, I think. Let me just check. And don't crucify me for going for lists of players that have declared for this draft. I can't always remember them off the top of my head, but if we're looking at power, because this running back class is a little bit of a weird one. See, a lot of the guys I like in this class are smaller ones. They're not power backs, like Jamari Taylor. I love Jamari Taylor, but he's like 5'9". Robert Henry's 5'9". They're a bit smaller. It's quite a small class, actually. But Hemby's 6 foot. That's why I like him as like the ultimate power man. But it's a tough it's a tough sell. This is, like, obviously Jeremiah Love's going to go in the first round, and there's just no way in hell that we're going to spend a running back pick that high. Like, I love Demond Claiborne. He should be in this game out of weight, but he's a speed guy. I guess Emmett Johnson would fit that category, but I think he's going to go higher than some would anticipate. If Nicholas Singleton's available out of Penn State on day 3, which he shouldn't be, but he might be, I think Nicholas Singleton I would like. I think he would be an upgrade on David Montgomery in the long run, but I mean, he's like one of Penn State's leading rushers of all time, as is Katron Allen. So, but I think Roman Hemby is the one I'd be set on as our power back. For sure. I really like him. And you said it like 2 years ago. You were on a rant. It was quite good, very proper for an Englishman. Oh, I probably did then. I have my rants occasionally, so yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I do have my antisms indeed. The main reason I like Ben Johnson was because of the plays from the same formation as other plays that confused opposing defenses. That's cool. What's going on and why so bad, if I may ask? A lot of things, Grandizer. A lot of things. Just everything in life kicked me at once. I had my mum in hospital for half the year. I got made redundant once. I've just been made redundant a second time through no fault of my own. I've had people in hospital, obviously. All the stuff that's happening with Steve, the stuff that's happened with Ryan, it's just been absolutely rotten. It's been really bad, so just lots of things piling up in a short space of time, which has not been nice. So, but it's a new year, and we hope for a better new year, and hopefully things will start to improve soon. So we will we keep going. That's why I do this. This is a big thing for me to help. So, appreciate you all who are in the chat. Makes it worth it. If I may, I'd suggest AZ Cards content creator Joe Comu, the Cardinal Rule. I will check him out. I will check him out. Your recommendations have always been very good for us, so I shall give him a go. Joe Commu used to work for PFF, do grades for them. Well, that's maybe a show for Matt and Ash then, because I don't like PFF. I've been very outspoken about PFF. Those two are more PFF nerds than me. So, but I guess it could be fun. We've got some good guests coming back this year, though. You'll enjoy some of the guests. We've got Dom, the Jets guy we had. He knows more college ball than I do, like loads. And he's putting out some really good content this year. I'm hoping we get Dom back. He's very good fun to chat to. Very good. See you there for Gronowski first half. 7 of 10 for 86, 28 rushing yards, over 100 yards from scrimmage for him, 70% on his throw-in. Decent. Jalen Daniels 8 of 14 for 52 yards, just 3 rush yards. Jalen Daniels is a semi-dual threat back, so he's not got much going. But there's been a lot of pressure for him off the defensive line, so he's not had the easiest of it all. Lives in Atlanta now. Ah, just like Bigelow. Bigelow lives near Atlanta. We need to get Bigelow back on. I miss having Bigelow. He's good fun. I do watch his streams from time to time because the Falcons have been a bit of a cluster this year, so it's been fun to see some of his stuff and his reactions, but I do hope better for him because he deserves it. Second half is just kicking off. The West are going to get it first. They are up 4. The return comes to the 20, the 30, the 35. Good tackle there. Gets up to nearly the 40 in the end. That is Eric Rivers. Again, the Georgia Tech wide receiver ends the last half with 2 catches. Starts this half with a decent return for nearly 40. Yeah, man. You want to watch Eric Rivers back from his FIU days. He was impressive back at FIU. But he's done well at Georgia Tech this year. GT had a decent year for the most part. Haynes King is in the game for the West. The Detroit Lions have been talking to Haynes King quite a lot. They will be watching him very closely here. Let's see what Haynes King can do in front of the watching Lions scouts, because they are interested for sure. Oh, we've got a fullback and a tailback in here. We're doing a bit of old school. The way GT like to run it. Handed off to the tailback. Gets about 7. That is a good run. That looks like... Is that Cam Cook? Is Cam Cook there? No, Cam Cook's not there. It can't be Cam Cook. Gonna have to check that again. It was Mason Riger who made the tackle. But good start there. They're running the power spread system that Georgia Tech like to do, so they're running to his. It goes to the running back again, hits the outside, gets about a yard. It's going to be a 3rd and 1. That is a SMU. That's an SMU. No, is it SMU? That's not SMU. Let me try and figure out who that is. I don't think that guy's in my running back repertoire here. Let me see. It's not Tulsa. It's not South Alabama, is it? I can't quite make out who it is. I'll wait and see. This might be another one who's been bought in. But we've got 3rd and 1 here anyhow. No handoff. Haynes King throws. Good low catch from the tight end. Sharp. That's Bauer Sharp from LSU with the catch there. It was a bit of a low throw from Haynes King, but it was still a good throw. I think the running back was meant to get the ball there, but there was a good block on him as he was trying to leak out. So the running back wasn't there. So Kings readjusts and hits the tight end. Bauer Sharp in stride, gets a 1st down. He's looking decent. Got a tailback in again. Handoff. Running back jukes back in the other direction. Goes through tackles. Makes about 7 yards. That's a great play. Can't see the name. Oh, it's CJ Donaldson in. I think he's been the one in since the start. So he's the Ohio State guy, but best known for his work at West Virginia. He didn't get many yards for Ohio State this year, but he got a ton of touchdowns. They used him as the short yardage back, but did some great work at West Virginia. But wonderful there, just a cutback from left to right, hit the open space, gets 7. He's in there again. Haynes King under centre, CJ Donaldson in the backfield, does not hand off this time. Throw down the middle, it battered up into the air, and that's... Oh, it's dropped! Oh, no! Oh, that is Duggar. Oh, you are not going to see a worse drop than that. That should have been an interception. Throw was made. That is a wonderful pass breakup. I don't know who got it, but 4 East players came in beneath that. And it was poor old Jaden Duggar from Louisiana. That just dropped into his hands. And it bounced out. That is a terrible drop. 3rd and 3. Haynes King drops. Feels pressure from the back. He's strip sacked. The East have the ball. And he should have been picked off on the last play. He gives it up this time. And that is West Weeks. The younger brother of Whit Weeks. West Weeks, the LSU linebacker with the recovery. I don't know who forces the fumble. But a couple of disastrous plays from Haynes King. You've got pressure off the edge. It's slapped out his hand. Is that Mason Riger again? I think it is. I think that is Mason Riger once again. Just goes slap. It is. Mason Riger is having a hell of a game out of Wisconsin so far. He's got a sack. He's got a strip sack now as well. Big play for the East defense. They're down 4. They're in their own half. And their defense comes up big there. Young Duggar will be thanking his lucky stars that happened. If they'd have converted that and scored afterwards. Oh boy. But yeah, Jalen Duggar is a relieved man. The East get the ball at their own 43. Not sure. It looks like Gronowski's still in there at the moment. Hand off to the running back. Breaks the tackle. Bulldozers over a poor DB to the second level. That is Robert Henry. No, it's Trainham. It's Chip Trainham, sorry. Thought I saw the UTSA flag. Great work from Trainham there. Breaks the tackle from the edge. Just hits round the edge and then absolutely bulldozers Fordham out the way. Trying to work out. I don't have a Fordham on my roster here. But great work there from Chip Trainham, who's still in now. Oh, incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. It's Kyron Drones who's in now for the offense. This is the Virginia Tech quarterback. I like Kyron Drones. He is a dual threat quarterback. It's his 4th. He's a 4th year. He spent a year at Baylor. He spent 3 at Virginia Tech. He is not the most accurate. He's 58% in his career. Just shy of 6,000 passing yards, 45 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. But he's got 2,271 rushing yards and 22 rushing touchdowns. But 19 interceptions, 22 fumbles. He's a little bit turnover prone, which is his doing, as 3rd down is 3rd and 8. I think that was a sack I've just missed there, whilst I was just reading out Jones' stats, but I like Jones as a dual threat at the next level. 6'1", 233. Again, he needs to become hella more accurate at the next level, but he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I like what he's about. Someone's going to take a go on him as a UDFA. Got 3rd and 8 here at the 46 of the West. The East drop back by Drones. He's running. He's escaped the pocket. Throws. Good throw there from him. Getting out the pocket. And that is Nick DeGennaro. I think that's the James Madison wide receiver. I thought he'd gone to UCLA. But that's a lovely play there. That's what I mean. That's what Kyron Drones is all about. Stayed calm in the pocket. Went for pressure. Just rolled out of it. Nice, easy pass to De Janeiro there. Lovely, well done there. Let me see, is De Janeiro in this class? He's not listed, but I'm assuming it's Nick De Janeiro. Oh, big run from Chip Trainham again, and the chip train is rolling. He's just gone for about another 15 there. He is knocking some guys over, as I've got a little money spider here with me. Nice block there by the centre, and the right guard just creates a big hole in the middle, and he just absolutely bulldozes the poor safety who comes up to meet him. What a tackle that is. What a run that is from Chip Trainham. Come here, little money spider. You're not going to be harmed. Chip Trainham's given the ball again, and this time it's a 1 yard lock. Where the hell have you gone? Where is he? I just had a little money spider and he's vanished. He was just dangling in front of my microphone. So I saved him and now he's flown off somewhere. Well, if I see you again, that's it. I do not kill spiders. That is the rule of thumb. They eat flies and they're welcome here as long as they keep the flies at bay. But these things are tiny. 2nd and 10. They're in the red zone now. Drones drops back. Surveys. Escapes pressure, but he's taken down and sacked this time. Huge play there. And that is the Central Michigan D tackle, Eldman. Oh, sorry, he's the edge player. Look at him here. He's out at the 9 tech. Just bulldozes his way. Pulls the little spin move on the left tackle. And just absolutely dumps Jones to the ground. So that's Heldman out of Central Michigan. He was another late addition to this. Big play there. It's 3rd and 15 now at the 24. They're threatening to knock him out of field goal range. Jones drops back, runs out the pocket to the left. He's scarpering. They've turned their back to him. He runs to about the 15. And it's going to be about 4th and 7. So one would assume they're going to kick it here. And this should be, if I'm right in thinking, Michigan kicker Dominic Zavada about to come out. It is 4th and 7. Zavada should not miss from here. And this will be a 1-point game. It's 4th and 7. Surely they're not going to keep the offense out here. Here he is, Dominic Zavada. The former Arkansas State kicker who Michigan took in the portal. And look at that. That is as straight as you can get. Straight as one of Robin Hood's arrows. And this is now a 1-point game. It's West 12, East 11. Dominic Zavada comes to play. Hopefully your 2026 will be getting good news. I appreciate that, Lisa. The running back is wearing an SMU helmet. Yeah, I couldn't work out who it was fully, but yeah. No, Haynes King was in, but then Kyron Drones came in. So, yeah, it's... They changed QBs during the drive, which was an odd one. Curtis Lee is in the building, back in for draft season. I'm on Lions Talk Live, follow you there as well. Hey, appreciate you. And there's a few of you from Lions Talk Live who come over, and I very much appreciate it. Dan is the real MVP over there, but thank you for coming over and checking us out. And say we're big on draft season here. We are stuck into all these prospects and that now. I will have my prospect review videos coming out soon as well. So, on my prospect tape reviews, I was meant to start them in December, but because I've had a lot on my plate, I've not had a chance to start them yet. But did some good ones last year, which I enjoyed. Didn't get any of my players drafted though. I think we did Elijah Roberts. We did a couple of other. Who else did we do last year? We did some good ones last year. Oh, look at me forgetting all this stuff. Videos. Who did we do? We did. Oh, Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan was the big one. I loved doing Walter Nolan's tape last year. And we did Donovan Azirawaku as well. As well as Elijah Roberts. And I believe I did Ricky White as well. Which was fun. But yeah, I want to do at least 10 or 15 of those this year. We only did 4 last year. But the guys I really like, I want to get as many of them as I can and tape reviews done for them. So you guys can see them a little bit more. Just waiting at the moment. It's 12-11 to the West. West are going to get the ball back. Haynes King plays for the West. Kyron Drones was on the East. Kickoff from Zavada. Not going to... Oh, it is going to be returned. Returned to the 10, the 20. Is this Eric Rivers again? He hits the 30, the 35, gets to about the 37. And I tell you what, if that is... That does look like Eric Rivers again. It is. He's done some good return work today. Some really good return work. Again, I've got a soft spot for him because I have a soft spot for FIU players. Because Eric Singleton got the big move to Auburn. Then Eric Rivers got the move to Georgia Tech. And they've got some good draftable prospects this year. Benny Blades' nephew's coming to the draft this year. I believe he's declared anyhow. Brian Blades Jr. out of FIU's a solid corner. He's one of the best corners the Group of 5 has to offer. He's not as good as Chris Johnson and the San Diego State pair, but he's got a future in the NFL. Brian Blades Jr. does. Kind of hope the Lions get him so we can continue the Benny Blades bloodline. We all love Benny Blades. And you know you are on top of the draft when your players all get drafted and even go ahead of where you might have them. Love it. Yeah. I've got some good picks over the years. Puka, Reed Blankenship. We've done well with some of these guys who've been picked later. But you've got to dig down deep into them. Some haven't made it. Some have taken time to make it. But they've gone there. The fun part is, and this is a good segue actually, is the ones where you look at them as a freshman and then you follow their entire collegiate career and come to the draft. I say this as a segue because there's a guy in this draft who, for those of you who've listened to the pod, it goes back years. But there's an Oklahoma guard in the Shrine Bowl. I don't know if he's been playing yet. Fabichi and Weiwu. And for those who have very good memories, Fabichi and Weiwu was in my college football to watch class in 2023, 3 years ago now, just after his All-American freshman season at North Texas. He'd been, as a redshirt freshman, he'd been the right guard there. And I watched him during that season and was really impressed with him. They were meant to move him to right tackle, which they did for 2 games, and then they moved him back to right guard. But in advance of that 23 season, he was in my preseason to watch team list, and I said, this guy's going to be an NFL player in a few years' time. Back when he was just a redshirt sophomore at North Texas. And then after that third year at North Texas, he got the move to Oklahoma last year. He had a rough first year in the SEC. I think he gave up 4 sacks or something. But this year, he's been absolute nails in that Sooners lineup. And they actually played him for the last 3 games at centre. Lions need a centre this year, just saying. But he played against Alabama, and he absolutely destroyed their interior DT pairing as a centre. He got push. He was identifying blitzers. He is smart as they come. As there's a big throw there down to the East's 30. That is Eric Rivers again, and the man is taking this game by the scruff of the neck. Haynes King to Eric Rivers. I mean, they're both Georgia Tech guys, so he's throwing to his guy. But Eric Rivers, as a returner and a receiver, has just blown this game wide open when the East's catching up. The West were 9-0 up. It's now 12-11, but the West are well down in territory. Anywho, back to Fabichi and Weiwu in a minute after this play. So they're at the 35. It's 1st and 10. Haynes King under centre. Late delayed handoff to the running back. Gets about 2. So yeah, he got put at centre for the last 3 games, absolutely dominated against Alabama and some other good SEC opposition, and now he's been playing centre at the Shrine Bowl this week because Coogan's been hurt. And I look at him and his build, he was meant to be a tackle. He's like 6'3", 315 pounds. Perfect size for centre. He looks like he's absolutely built for the part to do it, and they're cross-training him now. And I'm now really intrigued as a prospect for the Lions. But like, this was a kid who there's a short gain there. It's going to be about a 3rd and 4. Like, I saw this kid as a freshman at North Texas 3 years ago, and now he's finally coming to the draft as this fully fledged prospect out of Oklahoma. And it's like, now we've been doing this for 5 years. We're at the point where we started seeing some of these guys years ago, and you think, I was right about him. Like, 3 years ago, I thought, he's going to go to the Power 4, he's going to go to the draft, he's going to get drafted. And here he is. He's in the Power 4, he's on the path to the draft, he's probably going to get drafted, maybe even late day 2 with his versatility. And it's just, it's rewarding for all the work you put in for it. As Haynes King is flushed out, good catch on 3rd and 3. Don't know if they've made it. It's right at the line. It is. That is Wetgen, or Wagen, we're going to call him. Wagen, the Iowa wide receiver. I don't know whether the T or the J is silent. It's either Wetton or Wagen. But Wagen sounds cooler. It's 4th and 1. But it was a good throw from Haynes King under pressure. But yeah, to finish off on Nwaiwu, it was great. You know, I followed the last 3 years of his career. Hopefully he's going to get drafted. And that feels like, yeah, I do know a little bit what I'm talking about. So it's been fun. As we got a 4th and 1 here. The heavy set is out. Hand off to the running back. And he gets it at the 2nd attempt. That is incredibly tough running. That is incredibly tough. I think that CJ Donaldson's still in there. And that's what he's there for. CJ Donaldson is going to be your short yardage back at the next level. Watch him here. Contacted once, twice. He's got a man hanging off the back of him and a man in front of him, and he carries both of them over the line to gain. He gets a little bit of a push from the tight end as well. But yeah, CJ Donaldson as a short yardage back is going to be a menace in the NFL potentially. 1st and 10 at the East's 23. Handoff to Donaldson again. Does find a little crease on the right hand side, but only gets 2 yards. Some good coverage there by the... I'm trying to find out. That is the edge out of Duke. Is that Wesley Williams? Oh no, it's Hall. It's the other one. Wesley Williams has been so good so far, but that's Hall, the D tackle out of Duke. Good stop from him. It's 2nd and 9. It was just a yard actually, so even better play from him. We got 1:50 left in the 3rd. There we go. Pass thrown away, 3rd and 9. And we got Marcus Allen, cornerback, North Carolina. I don't know if he's related to the Hall of Famer. Don't think so. I got a message today from someone actually on Twitter. There we do have relatives in this draft. Let me just go get it. But there is another DB in this game. So if you remember Clark Phillips from a couple of years ago, the corner out of Utah that me and Ryan absolutely adored, 4th round pick, he's got that is a 4th and 9. Haynes King throws towards the end zone towards Williams, but that is broken up by Washington. Nothing really there for him. They're going to have to kick it, and the smack attack is going to be out for another kick. Much shorter than his 57 last time. That looked like a little bit of pass interference. That's the South Carolina DB. Oh no, it's the South Carolina State one. That's Jared Washington. South Carolina State, that's your HBCU DB there. That's good play in the end zone from him. Smack attack from 40 yards just to the right of the hash. Let's see what he can do. Snap is good. Kick is up. And he is nails. You couldn't get any more. You couldn't get any more level than that. That was the spirit bubble in the middle of a... Yeah, he was the spirit bubble in a level meter. Smack Attack is back up there and the lead is up to 4. Sorry. So Clark Phillips, if you remember him from a couple of years ago, we loved him in the draft process. Well, Clark Phillips Sr., I'm assuming it's the dad, sent me a message today on Twitter, and he's got a younger brother. Not him, but Clark Phillips has a younger brother in the draft, Bryce Phillips, and he's here at the Shrine Bowl. I don't know if he's been playing so far, but he's out of San Diego State as well. I think he's out of San Diego State. Let me just double check. I swear he's out of... he's from San Diego State, like Chris Johnson. So San Diego State has 2 corners in this draft. Chris Johnson will probably be the highest drafted Group of 5 player in this draft. He's going to go high. He's going to go first round. But Bryce Phillips, he was the only cornerback in the FBS who didn't allow a 20-plus yard catch in 2024. The only one who didn't allow a big play at all. He only allowed 1 this year. This guy is absolute nails. 55 straight starts for San Diego State. 142 tackles. 31 pass breakups. 11 tackle for loss. Sub 50% completion percentage allowed. He only gives up 0.6 yards per coverage snap. Passer rating allowed against him is just 75. He's got 2 picks as well. His 2025 has been insane. Yards per coverage snap is below 0.6. The completion rating against him is 41%. That is it. The passer rating is 63. And he had an average 1 pass defended per game. Like Chris Johnson, physical boundary corner, just like his big brother was. Great in zone. Doesn't give up explosives because he's so freakishly athletic that you can't get in behind him. And he translates all over. He could be a corner, a nickel, a safety. But I thought that was awesome. I assume it's his dad sent me this today. And I've been watching his tape and it's been good. So if you see Bryce Phillips in this game, that is the younger brother of Clark Phillips, the Utah corner from a couple of years ago. So they're all down in the mountain region there. So it's Norwegian. So it's Caden Weegan. That's cool. Pronounced like Norwegian minus the Nor. Thank you for that. Caden Weegan. I always like to give players their proper respect and pronounce their name correctly. So I try there as the East. Oh, we got a big return here over the 50. Wonderful return there. Just trying to work out who that is. That is the Grizz wide receiver. His name got mentioned by Grandizer earlier. I didn't realise the Montana Grizz had a receiver here. Unless it's a running... I don't know. But it's the Grizz player. Got a 50-yard return there. So the East is set up really nicely to try and take the lead for the first time. As you can see here, Kyron Drones is the cousin of Cam Ward. Should probably have mentioned that earlier, but don't like people to be associated to family when it comes to assumptions about them. But Kyron Drones is fun. He's going to be a fun UDFA. Like, someone's going to enjoy him a lot, and he will give a lot to your practice squad instantly. And he may even make it through eventually. But he's back out there. Oh, the return was chalked off. Don't know what happened there. Must have been a foul. Shad Banks, the UTSA linebacker, with another run stop. He's having a hell of a game so far. There's a lot of love around Shad Banks. I need to watch him a little more, but I like my UTSA prospects. Just bursts through the second level block of the offensive lineman there. That was Dewberry who tried to get his mitts on him and couldn't. And Shad Banks blows that up. It's 2nd and 8. Kyron Drones drops, steps up into the pocket, throw over the middle. Oh, no, that was a dangerous one. Sherrar, the Iowa safety, I think it is, Sherrar, if I remember rightly, with a good pass break up there. Oh no, he's the linebacker. Sorry, Carson Sherrar, the linebacker. That was some good coverage from the Iowa man there. Some very good work. The last prospect that didn't get drafted that I had getting drafted was Mark Evans II from Appalachia. Wasn't Mark Evans... Mark Evans was a HBCU player. He wasn't from Appalachian State. Was he? Mark Evans was the left tackle from Arkansas Pine Bluff. We thinking of the same player? Yeah. Mark Evans II was from Arkansas Pine Bluff. He was the left tackle there. I had a draftable grade on him. Coach Huggins, the actual HBCU expert and the draft expert, had a draftable grade on him. And inexplicably, I think he ended up going to the Saints. I don't know if he's still there, but that was crazy. He had a good All-Star game from what I can remember. Definitely wasn't from App State though. Yes, he was from Arkansas Pine Bluff. I didn't think I was going mad. Amazing how I have these little nuggets still stashed in there, but I remember a lot of the HBCU guys. I had him going in round 4 or something like that. Oh, you had him in the 5th, yeah. I thought he'd be an early day 3 guy. It was crazy he didn't, because there was some gash tackles that went in that draft before him who absolutely shouldn't have, should not have. Fabici and Nwewu, yeah, I love Nwewu. And Nwewu needs to end up on an NFL roster. I just don't think it'll be the Lions. I'd be a raging hypocrite if I said we should draft him to be centre when I've said I want a career collegiate centre and he's played 3 games there and we don't need a guard. But if it happened, I would love to see Nwewu there with us. Jared Washington, the cornerback from South Carolina State. Yep. SC State, man. That's where that's where the Rams. That's where Colby. That's where Kobe Turner's from. The not Kobe Turner. Oh fuck it, you know what I mean. The Rams DB. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's from South Carolina State. Gerard Washington's from there this year, but he looks good. He'd probably be at the top of the list of draftable HBCU prospects this year. Chris Johnson is on my list for the Finns. My dream would be to take him in the 2nd, but I expect him to go early 2nd. He's going to go early. He is so good. He is like locked down. He's one of the best. Outside of D'Angelo Pons, he's one of the best coverage corners in this draft. D'Angelo Pons is the best coverage corner in this draft, period. Chris Johnson is right up there. Maybe you can get Bryce Phillips in for an interview. I would love it, but I am a small fish. Grandizer, getting interviews is so tough. Especially from prospects and that. We're not a big enough show, really. But we'll try. I have a very interesting proposition I'm trying to do right now as the East get going again. Broken up pass. It's going to be a 4th down. 4th and 9. They are going to punt. That was a pass out to Dylan Bell, which went alright. And the West are going to maintain their 4-point lead with 14:40 to go in the game altogether. And Eric Rivers is back, waiting for another opportunity to return. This punt's going to be from within the 10, so he's going to get it in some good field position unless this thing gets absolutely marmalized. Up it goes, and Jesus, it does get marmalized. He calls for a fair catch at the 22. That thing got absolutely besmirched out of the air. Whew. That was a good punt. Yeah, getting prospects and stuff is tough for us. So we'll try. But I've got a big project that I want to do. It's my next big project whenever we can do it. What we want to do. Here he is. Fabici and Nwewu is interviewing right now. He won the Pat Tillman Award for it, but he's... Oh man, he's so good. Like I say, picked him as a rookie out of North Texas, and here he is at the Shrine Bowl. Those are the picks you get, and you're like, he's come so far. He's a great human being as well. Like, I really hope Nwewu gets what he deserves, which is a good draft spot. As I don't... Oh, we got a false start here. That was blown out the air.
I'm not sure who is under centre still. But that's going to be a false start on the West. We're in the last quarter now. I don't know who got pinged for that. That is... Oh, we've got Joe Fagnano in now. So we've got the Yukon quarterback in. Love Joe Fagnano. He was at Maine for 4 years. He's been at Yukon for 3. He's a 7th year senior. He's old. But he's had a lot of injury issues. But he's had a wonderful year at Yukon. So he throws a screen. Screen goes for about 1 yard. It's going to be 2nd and 14. So Joe Fagnano this year threw 28 touchdowns and 1 interception. His touchdown to interception ratio was 28-1. Like, you're not going to find better in the country than that, period. Like, he's about 50 years old, but still. He's so intriguing. But him and Skylar Bell were crazy good this year. He's just saying there, threw 25 touchdown passes before he threw his first interception. That's at Yukon. They play a lot of ACC teams, so, he did ever so good. 2nd and 18, that is the throw to Weegan. I love that name. Now I know it's Weegan. That is so fun for me. But it's a good throw. Eyes him up. Weegan on the comeback route. He's at about the 26. Not sure where this is going to be in terms of a 3rd down, but good throw, good catch, but his knee's down. He had to go low for it. He did get up and run afterwards. That's allowed in the NFL, but not in college, sunshine. It's going to be 3rd and 8. West leading 15-11. Joe Fagnano under centre. Drops back. Running back leaks out, but he goes to the receiver. It's a wonderful catch, but he's not... Oh my God, he caught it. I don't think he caught that. Oh, that is... Oh my God, that's an amazing grab. That is one of the best catches you'll ever see. Highballs it on the top, just... Oh, his left toe is just scraping along the ground. And that's that number 81 again, who I can't get a read on. That's a bloody wonderful catch, that is. 4th and 1 at their own 33-yard line. They're going for it. Or they're trying to draw them off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, that was a big old no-no. They were trying to draw them offside there. They're not Dan Campbell. They wouldn't go for that. Delay of game. It's going to be a 4th and 6. The West are going to punt it away. He went to UDFA to Saints. He was there 1 year. I think he plays in the CFL. I think he is in the CFL. I hope he gets back to the NFL though. Teron Armstead campaigned for the Finns to take Evans the second. He would have filled a need next to Armstead. Teron Armstead was a HBCU guy himself. He was drafted from the HBCUs, Teron Armstead was. So there's no wonder he was going to bat for Mark Evans. Punt is up. It's not a bad one. It's to the 25 of the East. They return it to the 30, to the 35. Good dancing run, about to the 36. So they're going to get some good field position here. Still down 4. Teron Armstead was drafted out the HBCU, so no wonder he went to bat for those guys. And you never know, my guy CG Ruthless, a 49 content creator, he has around the same number of subs as you lads. He gets quite a few to interview. Interviewed Zeke Biggers. Good job we didn't, because I don't know why, but the pod hated Zeke Biggers last year. I wasn't a fan of him, but he seemed to get a lot of hate last year, Zeke did, so not entirely sure why. CG Ruthless does a 25 to 45 minute interview. I bring up stats and questions, and it's always a blast. The more these prospects' names get out there, the more their stock rises. Absolutely. Oh, CJ Williams, the wide receiver from Stanford, he's having a day and a half. So yeah, the big project, and I may as well be able to tell you this because it doesn't really matter. But what I'm trying to do with Ryan, we're trying to get a prospect out of high school. So we're trying to get in touch. We're trying to recruit a prospect who's coming out of high school to college, who we can interview on a weekly basis. and basically cover the entirety of their collegiate career from when they first come in from high school to when they graduate, hopefully go into the draft 4 years later, to document the life of a collegiate athlete, because you don't really see anything like that. Like, you see some of these kids and they do interviews and whatnot, but we want to document the entire life of a high school athlete going through college. Even if he doesn't get drafted, even if he doesn't, but each week you could get them for 20 minutes, question them, what have they been doing, what are they learning, how is their game coming along, how are they coming along as a person. Like, it's going to be a long project, it's going to be a 4-year project from start to finish, but we would love to do it, so we're trying to find a prospect who will do it. Because obviously some schools and that, it's hard to get hold of these guys and to be able to interview them because of media and stuff like that. But that is my next big wish. We want to basically profile the entire college life of a high school prospect, which will be great fun. So, and hopefully, after 4 years of investment, if you get them to the draft, then hell, you're going to be backing them from here, there, and everywhere. So, it's one thing in the pipeline. I'm gonna try and do it. I want to start it this year, if not next year, because obviously you want to get to them while they're at high school before they get to college. But I think it would be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. But in terms of getting prospect interviews themselves, we'll try. Like, I would love to interview guys I love, so it's just time consuming. You've got to go through a lot. You've got to jump through a lot of hoops and stuff to find these guys and get to them. And to do that, you have to quit your jobs. That's full time. It's not. It's 20 minutes a week. 20 minutes a week just interviewing a prospect about their collegiate life. What they're doing in training, how their game's advancing, what they're learning, and then hopefully when they play the games, get first-hand experience of what it's like. The ups and downs of a collegiate player as they go through college. I think it would be fascinating. It wouldn't require much from us, as there is a wonderful pass break up there. That is Jackson, that is the USC safety, I think. What a PBU that is. That was a third down one as well. Good play there by the West defense. Drone zips that thing out and he just jumps the route. Great play. Absolutely fantastic play. I think it's not Bishop Fitzgerald, but I don't know. I think it was. We'll have to double check. The punt lands at the 1 of the West. That's a wonderful punt. We've seen some good special teams today. Seen some great special teams today. This has been fun. Shad Banks again with the with the second down stop on that drive, just absolutely gone nuts. Shad Banks from UTSA. He's had a hell of a good Shrine Bowl game so far. That's one of the names you want to take into account when this is done. He is a hard hitter. No holds barred, no prisoners taken type guy. And he's been excellent. Oh, excuse me. Biggers, you guys don't like the big people. I'm 6'4". I am a big person. We like the big people. Also the time difference too. Yeah, the time difference is a pain, but we can make it work. We can make it work. We will do it. We will put our mind to it. Or hell, even if it's just a year. the progression of a year, but to see kids like, no, they'll go through the recruitment process, they'll go through NIL offers, they'll go through injuries, like, documenting the entire career would be fantastic. Even if they end up just being some guy who does 4 years, graduates, and then just has no draft stock whatsoever. And plus it would give people a lot more appreciation of what these kids go through as well. I feel like raising awareness for it all would be fun. Or was it Damani Jackson? It might have been. You could have been right, but I guess not all these guys are wearing their own helmets. Usually they wear helmets from their teams. I think some are ringers. They're just using helmets that are given to them. Yes, the scouting combine starts on February the 26th. Never been a big combine fan, me. It's just meh. It is what it is. As the West 4 points up, starting a drive on their own 1. Hand off to the running back, goes 4. Oh, that's good push, that is. I get about 3. Doesn't sound like much, but it gets you the yardage that you need. Good there. That's so the Tulsa running back Trey Richardson's in now. He finished, I want to say about 6th nationally this year in missed tackles forced. He had like 80 or something like that. He's one of the best guys in the country when it comes to getting open field tacklers to miss. He's in again, you can see him. He's a big unit. The handoff again, puts his head down. Again, just gets another critical 3-4 yards. This is going to be about 3rd and 3. That's 7 really tough running yards from Trey Richardson there. He's low-key a fun prospect. If it wasn't how big Biggers is, then why the hate? I don't know. I can't remember what the thing was with him. I think he had a really bad missed tackle rating. It was like me with Siaki Ika a few years ago. Like, I didn't like him just because he couldn't tackle for shit, so... Oh, we got a safety! Oh, we got a touchdown! We got a touchdown! We have a defensive touchdown for the East. They sack Joe Fagnano in the end zone, and I think... Is it a touchdown? I'm just trying to see if they forced it out and landed on top of it. It is a touchdown. Big mistake from Fagnano. Drops back, sits there. It is smacked out. Is that Wesley Williams again? It is. Wesley Williams smacks it out, and Hall gets on top of it. Wesley Williams has had one hell of a game out of Duke. One hell of a game. They're gonna... Oh no! Why's it not been given? They gave it. It's just been given as a turnover now, unless the rules differentiate here and you can't have safeties. It definitely was a strip sack in the end zone. They must not do safeties in the Shrine Bowl. But yeah, Wesley Williams comes round the edge, strips it out, and it falls out, and that should have been a touchdown. What a play there from Wesley Williams. I guess they've just given it them at the 6. No! They've given them a... What the hell's going on here? That was really weird. Or was it a 2-point conversion? It was a 2-point conversion. It didn't work. Oh well, where do we go? Defensive touchdown for the East there. That was Hall who got the... And that's one I've not got on my... I don't have him on my list. I'm not sure who exactly he is. But I know Wesley Williams got the strip sack. 4 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 3 tackles for a loss in the game. He has done himself no end of good. He's played quite a lot of snaps as well. The West bobble the kick. The return is to about the 30. That's Hudson on the return. And Joe Fagnano's right back out there again. They've sent him back out. Biggers was the type of worker who shows up an hour before work with his own utility belt and hard hat. Will do whatever is asked of him. Yeah, I think he had a mad missed tackle rate. I think that's what they didn't like about him. 1st and 10 at the 30. We got a false start. That's going to be 1st and 15 at the 25. That's the Deeks. That's the Demon Deacon. First time we've talked about. Is that Damon Claiborne? Has the running back false started? Oh no, that's right. Fa'alili Fa'amoe, the Wake Forest offensive lineman. Don't make me say it again. Fa'alili Fa'amoe. As Trey Richardson, good run there from him, gets a lot of that 15 back. Oh, sorry, Dominic Richardson. I don't know why I've been calling him Trey Richardson. Dominic Richardson. Look at the gap here. Great push from the right guard. Breaks 2 tackles. Gets a good chunk of that yardage back. You can see there, missed tackle. Dominic Richardson, like 6th in the country at forcing missed tackles this year. Really, really good player. It's a 2nd and 5, so they got 10 back on that play. Although it's a long 5. Dominic Richardson's in the backfield again. Fagnano under centre. There's a fullback in. Oh, 2 missed tackles. He goes for another 10. And look, that is what Dominic Richardson is all about, that run. Look at the spin. He jukes 1 tackle, spins out of a 2nd tackle. This is beautiful play here. Look at him. That spin move is absolutely filthy. Head down, takes a corner and a linebacker with him. God. He could apply for Disney on Ice with a spin move like that. Dominic Richardson, he's in again. The fullback is in again. They're at their own 44. Oh, that was a fake which did not work, and that gets blown up. And who is it? Yes, it's Mason Riger again. What a day the Wisconsin product is having. He does not get fooled by this. It's a fake handoff. Mason Riger sees it instantly and just hunts Fagnano down. Mason Riger is having a game and a half. Wesley Williams has had a game, and so has Mason Riger. I don't know much about Mason Riger at all. All I know is I'm in hella impressed with him after this one. 2nd and 18, Fagnano out to his receiver, gets about 16. So good catch and run that is. And that's Eric Rivers again. Eric Rivers continues to have a fantastic half. He got 16 on that play. Another good run after the catch. Broke 2 tackles. Makes it a 2nd and 18. Goes to a 3rd and 2. This is very manageable. Rivers is lining up on the bottom of your screen. You can see him in that lovely gold GT helmet. Got a running back and a fullback in again. Run is up the middle. They get it. They get about 5 yards. And they convert. 5 minutes left. It's our SMU running back again. Whew. This has been quite fun. It's East 17. East 17. Get it? In fact, do you? I think East 17 might have been a British band, but that makes sense over here. It's East 17, West 15. 2-point gap. 4:45 to go. The West are driving to take the lead. They are at the East's 43. Fagnano under centre. Tosses it to the running back, who nearly gets tackled behind the line of scrimmage, but then breaks through and gets about 5 or 6. Someone had a chance to make a play on him there and didn't. Ooh. Tough love. Could have been a big tackle for loss, that, but no. Gets a good... It's 4 yards, but nigh on 5. It's a decent get in the circumstances. 2nd and 6, 4 minutes left at the 39. Fake handoff, Fagnano rolls out. He's got a man. He's going to run instead. Drops his helmet. Going to get it to about a 3rd and 1. That's a good run from Fagnano. 3rd and 1. And I get a kick out of when someone says, I can't say his name, I can't pronounce his name. I can usually pronounce names very well. It is very rare I struggle with names. Very rare. Because I will go and Google them beforehand. And I will make sure I get them right. Like when we had that stupid Oregon player a couple of years ago, you made me say his name all the time. I can't remember, but it was absolutely nuts. And you insisted I say it all the time, and I did. Ooh, we have a false start. That means a 3rd and 1 is going to become a 3rd and 6. 3:13 left. West need to go for it, although a field goal will get them in front. And that is the Wake Forest offensive lineman again. I think that's 2 for him now. That is Fa'alili Fa'amoe from Wake Forest. I think he's playing at right tackle. 3rd and 7 at the 40. Fagnano drops back, throws, great catch there, and that's Eric Rivers again. Good Lord. Eric Rivers is having a day and a half here at the Shrine Bowl. Best receiver by, he's been one of the best receivers going. Great throw from Fagnano, a great perimeter catch there from Eric Rivers. Working on Austin. That was Brent Austin, the Cal cornerback that he got there. First and 10, nearly in the 30. About a 3-yard gain, maybe 2 yards. And that's Dominic Richardson back in again. 3 yards, 2nd and 7, 2:25 to go. After AVG, that is the position to look at from Wisconsin in this draft. Yeah, I mean, I always trust linebackers out of Wisconsin and Nebraska and all those Midwestern places that have rubbish football teams but have really good defenders. But he is an edge in this one. He's coming off the edge. We'll have to see some Mason Riger tape, see what he's like. He has put himself on the to-watch board after this one for sure. East 17 is a band. Stay now, baby, won't you go away? They do like a really famous Christmas song. Don't think I could take the pain. Won't you stay another day? Stay now. I know what KTF means in the UK. Yeah, that was it. Malisala Almavea Laulu. Yeah, I remember that one. You made me say that all the time. But I got it right. See, I remember these things. I remember. I would hope Matthew would know what KTF means. Probably. I'm not sure. I don't. The only initials that matter to me are FTB. They're the only ones that matter. So quarterbacks we have not seen today. The only ones by my reckoning we haven't seen are Baron Morton out of Texas Tech and Cade Klubnik from Clemson. believe we've seen everybody else. Running backs, I've not seen Robert Henry. I've not seen Roman Hemby. Not seen Damon Claiborne either. There's a few we've not seen there. Quite a few of the receivers I've not seen either. Mind you, again, everyone doesn't play in these things. We've seen some very good performances tonight, though. Very, very good performances. Consider me intrigued on some of these guys now. Look at that Gronowski block. Blimey. Going back to the whole QB development thing, I think Mark Gronowski could land on a practice squad somewhere and work his way into a team. He is tough as nails. We'll see how he does. He should get an invite to the Combine. I hope he gets an invite to the Combine. The Combine needs to do better this year. The last few years there have been some horrible snubs from the FCS and the Group of 5 to the Combine. That needs to change. Right, 2 minutes to go. We are 2nd and 7 at the East's 29. The West have the ball in hand, 2 points down. Richardson goes for 12. He gets it. Dominic Richardson. I don't know why I'm having trouble with his name. Dominic Richardson gets a first down. Really good block there from De Janeiro, I think, on the outside. Look at that. Huge block there. And a great from Richardson again. He's forced about 6 or 7 missed tackles in this game alone. You can see why he's one of the leading missed tacklers forced in the country. As Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft is up. I swear to God, if the Lions draft Akeem Messidor at 17, we're going to have issues. Oh. Especially if we pick him over someone like Cassius Howell. I will cry blue murder. Oh, Northern Soul, of course. You're right, I'm not thinking music, I'm thinking sporting terms, so... Have I just said Gronkowski? I'm sorry. I should not have done that. Gronowski. We have not seen Skylar Bell. I didn't think we'd see Skylar, but Skylar Bell's just had a Biletnikov caliber season. Skylar Bell's got nothing to prove. I don't think he's got much from this game to need to do with, so I'm not surprised we've not seen Skylar Bell. See, Skylar's issue is going to be his height. He's small. So, how much are people going to take that into consideration? They shouldn't. He is going to be a quarterback's best friend in the NFL. He just gets open. Like, he's small, he's nifty. These guys are making a living in the NFL now. I love Skylar Bell. He's not in contention for the Lions. Like, we don't need a player like Skylar Bell, but I wouldn't say no if we did. Country Paston looks like he could put on 80 pounds and be a starting tackle. Oh, Gronkowski. Gronkowski again. Gronowski. He's 235, so if you put 80 pounds on him, he'd be what? 315? he'd be in territory to be an offensive lineman then. Use him as an inline tight end. He only needs to put another 20 pounds on. Well, don't even need to put 20 pounds on to be an inline tight end. Crazy. For the West, they have Riley Nowakowski. He's not a fullback. Well, he's listed as a fullback, Nowakowski is, but he's more than a running back. He's much more than a running back. I love Riley Nowakowski as a receiver, personally. Like a tight end-ish. Like, you can almost disguise him as a tight end, but he's actually a receiver. His hands are damn good, but you can use him as a fullback as well. I must admit, the Lions could use him. Tight end depth, a fullback, which we need because we're not using Zach Horton, and receiver depth as well. I absolutely think Nowakowski should be in play as Dominic Richardson again gets about another 10. The East are saving the East are using their timeouts now because they're trying to preserve for another score because they know they're going to go behind now. So they're using their timeouts. But Dominic Richardson's performing really well. He'll be an intriguing group of 5 guy for running back. And you should take a look into him. He's, like I said, one of the leading specialists in the country in forcing missed tackles. His yak ability is really good. See, Tulsa may not have a good football team, but they do occasionally produce damn good football players for the draft. He is running angry. But if you want a draft diamond at the running back position, someone else who no one else is going to look at, he's your guy. He is your guy. Only 32 to 8-inch arms, though. Again, I try not to do the whole... If they've got wrestling background, then the arm size means nothing, because they know how to deal with that. Like, you've got to see the story behind them as to how they've got that far with the lack of arm size. Like Rodrigo. Rodrigo's undersized, but he made a career out of it. Only injuries that have really done him in. 2nd and 1, 1:34 to go. The West knocking on the door. Dominic Richardson again, first down, gets down to the 5. That is another 4 yards for him. He's running angry. The East have ran out of timeouts now as well. So maybe we're about to see a situation where the West kneel this one out. We'll see if they try and score. But they are it's West Weeks with the tackle as well. Witt's younger brother and not as talented brother. They look like they're running down the clock, and it's gonna be the smack attack for the win, unless they go for the touchdown. They got a fullback in. Richardson lined up in the eye. They hand it off. He goes through the middle and he takes a knee. He could have got a touchdown there. He deliberately took a knee. And they're lining this up for the smack attack to walk it off. They let him through the middle, and you could see the look in his eye. He wanted to go for the touchdown, and then he's like, oh shit, I need to get down, and then suddenly falls. Remember what Todd Gurley did for the Falcons a few years ago? Well, Richardson nearly did that, but they are going to run it down. 11 seconds, 10 seconds, they're going to run a play. Oh, he's gone for the touchdown. 5 seconds left, they've let him in for the touchdown. And Dominic Richardson, he deserves that after that drive. I would. He deserves that. Those last couple of ones may not have been trying 100% on defense, but they let him in. But they're only going to have like 2 seconds left. This is going to be a Hail Mary to finish this off, but I feel like Dom Richardson deserves that. 6 seconds left. The West are winning 21-17, in which has actually been a surprisingly entertaining game. Sometimes these games can let you down, but this has actually been a lot of fun. They'll go for the 2-pointer. I don't know if this takes time off the clock or not. Assume it does. No, it doesn't. It's stuffed. So the East are going to have 6 seconds to get a touchdown, which is probably not going to happen. Just saying, but who knows? We might see. And I did find a Finn's content creator out of the UK. He is rather new. Told him about your channel. Appreciate that. That's very good of you. We seem to be getting a few people going in recently. So again, we've not been as active as we'd like to. So again, it's just life has been a pain recently. Like, we want to charge the channel forward, and draft time is the time to do it. So we're playing catch up this year, but hopefully we should come through. And the next stream after this, players stock up, stock down, and other nuggets. Yeah, we'll do an entire review of the Shrine Bowl, because the practices matter. So the practices, the game, the overall stock up, stock down. We'll do something for that. Obviously, the Senior Bowl's in 3 days, so I've got to switch my attention to that now before we do that. But
like, we'll do the same for the Hula Bowl, the American Bowl, all these All-Star games. We will review them for you. Because there's been a lot of good performances from the, like, G5 and FCS guys at some of these. And, like, this has been completely ignored. And we don't want them ignored. We want to shine a spotlight on them. So we'll go through all the All-Star games when it's all said and done. Wow, Ant, it's 2:52 a.m. over there. Jolly good you are a trooper. Yes, and I have got to get up in 5.5 hours to go and meet my mother for a morning, for breakfast in the morning. So this is what I do for you guys. But we're entering the dead part of the season now. This is going to be the last few times we do this year. So, you know, I've got the Senior Bowl. Senior Bowl's during the day as well. I don't think I've got any night streams left. Really? I don't think there's any more night streams to do this year apart from the draft. So that's 3 months until my next night stream. So do it while I can. Player of the game in the next stream, I could probably tell you that now. I mean, it's... Could I? It's a tough one. There's been some really good players in this game. So, you know, we'll see. And how would you rank the sports you follow in terms of interest? I will tell you right now, the NFL and college... Well, do I differentiate college football and the NFL? I adore college football. Like, I absolutely adore it. I know it's got all the problems with NIL and the stuff like that, but the fact is it's a system where it's so much fairer than over here in the UK for its sports. We get academies over here. Players get bought. It's not a system where you play for a school which is not affiliated with a team above you. They're affiliated with teams. The way you do it over there is so much fairer, and I love the whole system, the recruiting thing, watching them develop, seeing the prospects before they get to the NFL. Like, I adore college football more than anything. Like, it is my absolute life. That's why I do a podcast on it like this. Deep ball, it's intercepted to finish the game, and there you have it. The West win 21-17, and that is your Shrine Bowl. Kyron Drones throws the Hail Mary down the field, but it doesn't even come close to getting towards the end zone. It's just a token gesture at the end of it, but yeah. That is all done and dusted, and that is your Shrine Bowl. Thank you for tuning in. It has been a good one. I'll give some thoughts before I get out of here, but yeah, college football is by far my number one favourite. By far. Then I would say the NFL, because I do love the NFL as well. I love the fact that you can be crazy about it for 5 months, and then you've got 7 months off during the year to just chill and let your enthusiasm for it rebuild. It's not like football over here where you're constantly... It's all year, it's 12 months, it's never finishing. You get to recharge your batteries and just go crazy. So it'd be college ball, it'd be the NFL. Then, of course, it'd be soccer. I still love football over here, but I've just been very... Money's ruined it. Money's just completely destroyed the game over here. It's not the game I loved growing up, so... I like it, and I will watch it, and I will play it, but... I'm not as obsessive as I used to be with it. And then after that, I like all sorts really. Cricket's a big one for me. Been British, love cricket. What else? I'm getting into some more of the American games now, but not big. I think cricket would be the one, and then after that, it'd be like Olympics, stuff like that. Winter sports. But, yeah, certainly college ball's my favourite sports thing by a long way. And that's not going to change anytime soon. So yeah, that's how those are the sports I follow predominantly. And that's how I would rank my interest in there. And this is why you need me to do your Lions mock draft Mondays. Was hoping Ashley would do it. I don't do mock draft Mondays because I like my mock drafts to mean something. So many guys just do mock draft after mock draft after mock draft. It's like, it's cheating. Like, because someone could go, oh, look at me, I mock draft that guy. Yeah, that was the mock draft 50 of 200. When you mock draft every single player in the mock draft register, because you do that many mock drafts, then you're like, oh yeah, I mock drafted him, I'm cool. I do 1 or 2. I put 1 in the Discord the other day, and everyone was like, oh my god, he's done a mock draft. Because I like to...
I like my mock draft to mean something. Like, when I present my mock draft, I want people to go, oh my god, he's doing his mock draft. Like, he doesn't do them very often. So this means something. Because I really get behind the players that I want to mock draft. I've literally watched some of them for 3 or 4 years. These are not takes based on, 2 weeks of watching tape when a season's done and be like, oh, he's pretty decent. These are long-held views I have. So I like my mock drafts to mean something. So that's why I don't do many mock drafts. While it would be cool to do more, I like the less is more route with it. So maybe some of the others will, because they all like to mock draft and do it, but... I do a college show. I go deep info on it. I want my mock draft to mean something to people. So that's my thing with that. 5-hour college stream. You've not had a college stream in a while, have you? I'm going to talk to Ryan this week and see where he's at. Obviously, I don't want to press him with what's happened, but we need to start doing content again. So I'm going to bring the show back, but I don't really want to do it without him. So. Because, he's been there for 5 years with me and we do it together as a team. So, hopefully we'll start it again soon. But, hey, if they're 5 hours, Grandizer, they're going to be a good 5 hours. We don't do anything half-baked here. We do good content. Well-detailed, research, thought-out content with real-world opinions. Not hot takes and stuff like that. So the stuff is good. Thanks, Antony. I'll be praying for all my Roar of the Lions UK guys. Appreciate you, Lisa. Appreciate all of you who've joined in. You mean a lot to us. Have I been to Ford Field? No, I intend to come. Because I've had problems with work, I keep saying it's going to be this year and this year. We're probably looking at 27 now. I'll be over in 2027 because I'm coming for college ball as well. So I will be there. I will let you know when I'm coming. Have a good night, Ant, says Contrapaston. Appreciate you a lot. Appreciate you a lot there. Grandad's Ant Micro Mike is doing it. I can ask him to stop doing it if you like. No. Micro Mike, and shout out to Micro Mike. I know he's not listening, but he just he got his plaque for 100,000 subscribers today. And I know he's just released it, and there is no one who deserves it more than Micro Mike. He is the best of the best, and he's great at what he does. He deserves 50 times more followers than that. So, but shout out to my guy there for his 100,000 plaque from YouTube. I could only dream of something like that. But yeah, he deserves it more than anybody. I won't do mock drafts and randomly pick people that I don't. That's what I don't do either. A lot of people do mock drafts and they go, well, his name was there, I've heard it, so I put it in there. It's like, kind of a justification is that for a mock draft? Like, you've got to mock these guys for a reason. You really do. So, you will get... I mean, I know me and Ryan didn't do our end-of-season mock drafts. We will do our end-of-season mock drafts and then our actual mock drafts. I'll make sure we'll do one, but of course, with what went on, we couldn't get it done, so we will. But yeah, Micro smashing out of the building. Mac doesn't do a mock draft every week. He reviews other mock drafts. Oh, he does do that as well. Like, I will review what other people say about us, but yeah. You'll get a half-season one from me, an end-of-season one, and then my actual one. Those are the three I like to do. It's right that Micro Mike started when Jim Bordeaux started, yeah. I mean, Mike was small when I started doing shows with him. But he's relentless. He's absolutely relentless, and he's just got the gift of the gab. He knows how to do this. He's got aura about him, as they say. So yeah, he deserves that more than anything. Right. So initial thoughts on the end of this. We've seen some very good performances here at the Shrine Bowl today. Let's just go through the position groups, and then, as I say, we'll do something more deep about it. But quarterbacks. This belongs to Mark Gronowski today. Absolutely fantastic as a passer, a runner, and apparently a blocker as well. So his stock is going to go through the roof after this. And also shout out to Jalen Daniels from Kansas. Thought he had a very solid game as well. At running back, Chip Traynham played really well, must say. Him and Dominic Richardson were the two standouts here. Eli Heidenreich did very well, but I always consider him a receiver. But Heidenreich as a running back / receiver threat, He's done his he's done himself a world of good today. So Chip Trainum, Eli Heidenreich, Dominic Richardson, all been great receivers. Had a good couple of great receiving performances today. Jeff Caldwell started it off early, the Cincinnati receiver. He had a couple of good catches on one of the first drives, but Eric Rivers he's knocked it out the park as a returner and a receiver for this. By far, I think the best, and obviously the Stanford receiver as well, had a pretty good day. But Eric Rivers has knocked it out the park. Tight ends. We didn't see too much from the tight ends today. Bauer Sharp had a catch. Jaron Canuck did. Lake McCree did. I think Lake McCree's been pretty decent. But not the most flattering of days for the tight ends. And I didn't see much from the fullbacks. I don't know how much they were used. But I certainly didn't see Max Bredesen. And I didn't see Nowakowski either. In terms of offensive line, I will have to dig deeper into that because it's hard to rate their performances today. And the tackles, I'm going to leave them alone just for now. On the defensive side of the ball, the interior, James Thompson Jr., tremendous from Illinois. He had a sack, couple of good run stops. He did himself no trouble whatsoever with this one, although he did take a little knock in the game. So hopefully that is not enough to knock him out of the combine or anything like that, but very impressed with James Thompson Jr. there. And then on the edge department, some major performances today, specifically Wesley Williams out of Duke and Mason Riger out of Wisconsin. Both of them have been sensational today. Wesley Williams forced a fumble in the end zone off Joe Fagnano, which was then took for a defensive touchdown. Had a ton of negative plays against the run, which was fantastic. Mason Riger also had a forced fumble and a sack on the day as well, and tackles for loss. He has looked incredible. Those two did well. Keyshawn James Newby, the New Mexico man, made some good splash plays, although he had the bad roughing the passer call against him, which was preventable. So a bit of up and down for him, but I think overall he's had a decent day. In terms of the linebackers, Lander Barton did well early, saved a touchdown early on in this game. Couple of good tackles from him. We saw some good pass work from Carson Sherratt and West Weeks as well. So the linebackers have done decent. And then in the cornerback room, we saw Jared Washington from South Carolina State. He had a pass breakup in the end zone. Good day for him. Brent Austin out of California. He made some good. He made some good plays as well. And then in the safety column, Cole Wishnowski from Texas Tech took this game by the scruff of the neck early on. 2 big pass breakups in the red zone on 1st and 3rd down just to bring a drive to a stuffing halt. His draft stock's going like whoop. If he has a good combine, then Cole Wishnowski is going to be coveted by a lot of teams. And I think that is about it for the ones who've really stood out for me. On special teams, Trey Smack, the kicker from Florida, nailed a 57-yarder. He hit every kick that he was given, including the walk. Not the walk. He didn't get the walk-off, did he? But 2 kicks, one from 57. He was tremendous. The punters were pretty good as well. Jack Stonehouse from Syracuse was really good. And then the long snappers, Matt, you will be glad to know, no bad long snapping instances on the day. So that is the initial quickfire roundup from the Shrine Bowl. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I've been able to convey the game well enough, despite, not knowing the half these players, because I'm having to work by their helmets and the names, and you can't instantly tell who they are because everybody keeps changing. But I hope you, I hope you enjoyed what I did, and we will do it again for the Senior Bowl on Saturday, which is a lot earlier for us. I think it's 7 o'clock our time, 2 o'clock your time. So join us for that. That's going to be good fun. I don't know when the actual breakdown from this will be. It might be next week. It might be this week. We'll see. I've got to talk to Ryan about it first. Yes, R.I.P. Jim. I love Jim. Jim was one of the ones who gave me my first start in this. And I will never forget that. Him and Kurt. I remember all the guys who've given me a leg up in this business, and my door is always open to them. Which Detroit journalists do you listen to the most? Me, personally, out of all of them, I don't listen
to much of the journalism in Detroit. Not because I don't want to, but because, like, when we started doing this, like, we used to, like, all our news would be like, oh, Pod have said this, Pod have said that, like Pride of Detroit. Like, don't get me wrong, I love all the guys in the Detroit sphere. We've had Jeff Risdon, you know, we've had everybody on this podcast, and I like them all, but I've always been, I like to form my opinions, and I don't like my opinions to be informed by others. I want to be natural. I don't want to be one of those guys who goes like, oh, well, Jeff Risdon said this, Jeff Risdon says that. Basically me parroting everything that he's saying. I don't want to be like that. Even if he is as good at the business as he is, I've always tried to be me, to have my opinions and to rationalise my opinions. So it's not that I don't want to listen to them, but I try not to, because I try to be me. And I try not to let what others say influence it. But I will watch the pod streams. They're fun. You know, I think in terms of the draft stuff, Nick Baumgartner, he's very good at the draft stuff as well. I like listening to his draft takes especially, because it is good to hear what those guys are saying. But as I say, for me primarily, I try to be me, so I don't listen to other pods as much, and especially it's time as well. I spend so much time doing our podcast that listening to other podcasts, I don't really get a chance to, because I like the amount of college pods I listen to. Like, I listen to college pods because I need to know information about that. I listen to Locked on Boston College. I listen to all sorts, you know, other draft sites and stuff. There's just not enough time in the world, really. But I will say, Detroit fans they are very lucky with the media members they get here. Very lucky. So yeah. I do, as I say, they're all good, and you'll probably see most of them on. Hopefully we'll be able to get a lot of them on in the pre-weeks coming up to the draft. Chris will be on as always. I love Chris Buffett. He's so fun. It's always a laugh when he's around. But yeah, we get on with most of the Detroit Lions media members, unless they're from Well, no, I get on with Easy in that. Where are we? I missed some bits. No Detroit Lions on the Prowl is just a ghost town. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad that Lions on the Prowl ain't a thing no more, but you know, these things evolve and we have to move on, sadly, but a lot of the group is still around. We should try and do more. We've said we need to do more collaborations because we don't collaborate with each other much anymore, which is a shame. Like, I used to work with Mike all the time, and we don't, which is sad because I like working with Mike, but I get to work with Dan. Dan's excellent at what he does. Dan's freaking grown. Whew. Dan started after us and he's already struck us into the dust. It was so far behind him, but he's unique at what he does and his show. But we need to do more crossovers between us all. I don't know why we haven't got around to it. I think just everyone's been busy. Kurt's been at school. Mike's obviously had a lot on his plate as well. But yeah, hopefully we can get something sort of going forward. Gronowski got offensive MVP, that's right. Louis Lives are like a ghost town, but Don P is very negative and calls people by names he makes already. Yeah, I don't like the negative ones. There's just some... There's no need to be negative in this business. If other people have opinions you don't like, then so be it, but... You know, there are some people who will take shots at you for no reason. It's just the name of the game. I just ignore them. Not naming names, but there are certain ones I don't get on with at all. And this goes back a long time, but yeah, it's just everyone is who they are. And, you know, let's leave them to it, really. Trey talking about, yeah, did a good job. Oh, appreciate that. Defensive MVP is Mason Reiger. I get that. I could have given that to him or Wesley Williams. Wisnowski didn't play enough to be defensive MVP. If he'd have played a full game, he would have been, but he did not. Reminds me of listening to my grandmother's old radio on shortwave and picking up stations that had an English accent. I do miss the Friday free-for-all roundtable. We need to bring that back. I will have a word with Kurt when I get a chance. We need to bring back a roundtable of Lions content creators. Feels like now more than ever that would be a big thing, because with some people jumping off the Holmes and Campbell boat and some people on it, It feels like there's a lot of... Because back before, we always just used to agree that everything was going really well. Now, there's a lot of genuine debate out there. So, I do miss the free-for-alls like that. It's just good. Good to get lots of people's opinions. LNU's a ghost town. Yeah, I don't know what went on with LNU. Obviously Mike did it all, and then Mike stopped doing it, and then the guys from Woodward did it, and then the guys from Woodward stopped doing it. Everything just seemed to fall apart with that, which is a shame. But when you're running your own channel, trying to do other stuff is complex. So maybe LNU will come back fully at some point, because I enjoyed doing my videos for them, but it's extra work for me as well. But I know Herm is committed to it, so we'll see. I know Don P does it all now. I don't listen to Don as much. I've worked with him once, but some of the streams I've seen do look negative in their thing. But yeah, you know, hey, people get clicks each one of different ways. Subscribe for the knowledge, Dave. There, appreciate it. Got all my bits there. Okay, one last call. If anyone's got any other questions they want me to ask, you've got 2 or 3 minutes with me, and then I'm going to call it quits. So get in anything else. If not, you know, just comment on the YouTube comments and stuff. You know, I'll get round to it eventually, especially with prospects and that. I think I said last year I started doing prospect review videos for our loyal listeners. So because I think I did Elijah Roberts for Brent last year. So if you guys who knock around all the time, if there is a player you want me to do, I will do it for you as a thank you for you joining the streams all the time. So, you know, Lisa, Brent, Milemarker, you know, Vented, if you wanted one as well, you know, you've been in asking questions and that, I'll do them for you. Because I like to do players that you're interested in as well, not just me. Make you feel part of the show and everything. So, you know, just let me know who you want me to do stuff on, because I will do lots in the next few months now. I do profiles. Well, I do profiles. I do tape reviews because I can do the profiles then. I tried to do the whole centre thing you wanted, Grandizer. I remember that Chargers stuff you sent me. I'm still trying maybe to do that, but again, it's just this whole stuff with Ryan Whatnot's just thrown me in a spin, so it's kind of sent everything out of whack this year, so I might have to wait, but because I deep dive prospects. I don't like to do those just whiffy, he's excellent runner, you know, strong hands, weak hips, stuff like that. I like to be detailed. I don't like to bullet point stuff. It's my flaw in life. I can't half-arse anything. So you're going to get an hour or two of prospect footage and I can show you what I mean, not just bullet point it. I want you to see what I mean. That's why I do it in that way. So, yeah. It's but yeah, I'll always take it under advice if I can do more stuff like that, because I'm not as good with the presentation of those things. I'm not very good at video editing, so video editing, more shorter format, snappy things like that. If I could get someone who could do it for me and I just do the content for it, that would be great, and we are looking at doing that. But right now I struggle with the video designs and the graphics and everything. It's not my forte. It's not really Matt's either. So, but we're going to try and do more bits and bobs. I know you asked me. Hang on, let me get through the comments. I'll tell you about Steve when I'm done as well. But let me get through any more comments. I can't watch Dan for more than a short time. Dose also, something about their voice. No, that's fair enough. Not everybody's not for everybody. I should listen to Dose more. I feel like Dose is the one I regret not listening to very much, but again, it's just time. He's an incredibly hard worker, Doses, so if I could listen to someone more, I would probably listen to Dosadion a bit more. All I want for Valentine's Day is 3,000 subs. We're not going to get that before Valentine's Day, but if we could, that'd be great, because I ain't getting anything else Valentine's Day. So if we could do 3K subs for Valentine's Day, that would be terrific. And listening to my grandmother's radio, that was an old floor unit, circa 1930s. I don't have a 1930s voice. Do I? I don't have one of those radio voices. Hello? Yeah, I don't even know if I could. How would you do it? I'm trying to think of something to say. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do a radio voice. I'm not going to do a radio voice. LNU only has Lives by Motor City Cats, and it is Don P who is turning me off. We'll have to see what we can do with that. I know one's Lions content creator, and for one reason or another seems to run some or many Lions content creators the wrong way. I get it. He has tried to correct me. I was right. Is that Avery? Is it Avery? He's the one I don't get on with at all. And I know he rubs a lot of guys up the wrong way. But hey ho. Lee and let be. Do you think the Lions will be Super Bowl contenders come next year? Why or why not? Depending on what they do with their offensive line. Talent-wise, yes. Coaching-wise, yes. You've got to fix your trenches. You need a left tackle. You need a centre. You need better pass rushers on your defensive line. And you need healthier depth at corner. What I will say, if they are more aggressive in free agency and they do well in the draft, they will be a Super Bowl contender. That is my prediction for them. If they are hesitant in free agency and don't go after some good vested veteran talent, I would be concerned about their ability to get back to the Super Bowl, because I watched that Seahawks-Rams game the other day and I'm there thinking, can we hang with this? And my initial thought was, no, we can't hang with this. Like, the Seahawks are young, they're going to keep getting better, and they have drafted well, they've done free agency well, which is what we haven't done well. Like, they've been good across the spectrum building that roster. And the Rams' only real weakness is their secondary, and they can fix that this offseason. That defensive line is young. They've pretty much drafted it all. It's going to be around forever and a day. Stafford's playing at an MVP level. Puka's going nowhere. Kyron Williams is going nowhere. You know, we've got to work hard to get back to where we want to with these teams. So, for me, we've got to be aggressive. We can't do any of this slow burn stuff anymore because the league will leave us behind. So, I think the Lions will be Super Bowl contenders, providing they attack free agency. They have a ton of money they can set up by restructuring contracts. They don't need to use it all. They don't need to go full New Orleans Saints. You can release as much as you need to have a good free agency without screwing your cap for the future. And I just hope they do that. And they're not going to just hang on and not use it. That is my concern that they will do. But we can be in the Super Bowl next year, absolutely, for sure. They've just got to adapt their approach a little bit. Also rank the NFC North starting quarterbacks. Good Lord. I'm going to be biased here. I do genuinely, out of all of them, if you're looking for a quarterback, I think Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the NFC North. Purely because of his IQ. Allowing him to make sensible decisions. The year he's had behind an iffy offensive line, and missing some of his best players for stretches and been under a lot of pressure a lot of the time, has been great, and he makes a lot more sensible decisions. Caleb is rash. Jordan Love can be rash. JJ McCarthy is just gash. I do genuinely think that Jared Goff is, because of his nous up here, the best quarterback in the NFL. Is he the flashiest? Or no, he's not. Can he do the biggest, most explosive, best looking plays? No. But can he make the right decisions more than anybody else? And can he lead a team to the Super Bowl? Yes, he can. So I think Jared Goff is 1. I would say Caleb is 2. Caleb has also, he's been on a rough ride himself. He's been on a bad team, but with a good team put behind him this year, he's played well. All the come from behind wins. I know it's not sustainable, but that is down to your quarterback leading clutch drives. Like the year before last, he couldn't do it to save his life. He's become a lot more clutch this year, and he is starting to settle down and make some better throws and make less bad decisions. There's still some in there, but I think talent-wise, he is very good. And he's not boring. Jordan Love is boring. Caleb is not. I think Jordan's just a safe player. So Caleb will be 2. Jordan Love would be 3. JJ McCarthy would be 4. And I mean that genuine. I'm not trying to piss Bears fans off or anything. And I think deep down I've got a legitimate argument there. So, yeah, Goff, Caleb, Jordan, JJ. That's how I would rank the NFC quarterbacks. I'm still waiting for the vids on college prospects from 4 years ago, lol joke. Venton said exactly the same thing. I didn't look at that comment before I did that, so yeah, there we go. You've never asked me for a college prospect, Grandizer. I don't think. Ask me for one this year. You want a player, I'll do one for you. But you've never asked me for one before. Ryder McConville does 10-minute college profile prospect vids because he did keep the game film. Yeah, I can see if we could do something shorter. You prefer me to have a Cockney voice, not a chance. I love my voice as it is. Dose is smart and hardworking, but he tends to talk so fast to keep his videos shorter. It makes him hard to follow. Again, everybody has their good and bad points. There was that young Lions content creator who was the fan of the year. Antony was his first name, I think, but I stopped listening to him. His takes went off the rails. Oh, do you mean by the numbers, Antony? That guy? I don't know. I've never listened to him, if that's the guy he's on about. Lions mock draft. If you want to make Ant happy, draft Caleb Tiernan. Yes. He's my first video. I've got him doing the video about Caleb Tiernan now, so you will have a video about Caleb Tiernan soon. It's been in the folder now for a month and a half. It should have been done a long time ago, but again, life got in the way, but it's nearly done. But I do love a bit of Caleb Tiernan, so you'll see him, and you'll see a few other guys in there as well. Right, I think we're going to leave it at that, because we are about 3:30 in the morning here. In 5 hours, I have to get up to go meet my mother, so I do not want to disappoint her, otherwise she will kill me, so I appreciate everyone who has hung in this evening. Vented, Grandizer, Lisa, Bren, Mile Marker. Hope you've had a good evening with me talking all stuff Shrine Bowl. We will do a bigger breakdown as we go, but hopefully I'll see you all on Saturday. We'll do it all again. We'll do the Senior Bowl. I might even have Matt with me for that one to give me a bit of company, but if not, your company is enough for me. And again, get those requests in. It's draft season. I am here at your disposal. If you want, breakdowns done on prospects, positions, anything, I am here to serve you all. So have a wonderful evening, and I shall see you all again in a few days. Take care in the snow if you're still in it. Hopefully it will have gone pretty soon and you'll all be back to your normal lives. So I will sleep well, Lisa. Thank you, Contrapastan, for hanging out. I appreciate you all. Go One Pride. This has been a fun Shrine Bowl. I will see you all for the next one. And we are on the path to the draft. And that is a path that never